Hope everyone's doing well.
I'm well, Rob. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
You're welcome. I was just upstairs, or I would have said it sooner.
No worries.
Sorry, I'm eating. I got a fistful of burger and fries.
You are excused.
Thank you.
Hello. Welcome back. No worries. All right. Hello, everyone. It is that time.
Hello.
Hope everyone's doing well. Let's go ahead and run through the names real quick. Jonathan, are you here?
Yep.
Excellent. Daisy, are you here? I know you're doing mics. There we go. Dune, are you here? He's showering. Okay. Professor, are you here?
Yep.
Vannon, are you here?
Yep.
Vrek is currently away at the moment, but is got the stream up. And Harry says he might not be here, but we will continue regardless. The last time, for those that were not here or those that do not remember, the group known as Grave Undertaking have been currently investigating the large underground market city known as Avin, and you guys have been trying to find a number of individuals as well as complete a number of tasks within this dangerous enemy territory that you have found yourselves in. You have not only a number of individuals that you need to hunt down, but also a number of uh, innocent individuals that need to be retrieved from the inner circles of this city itself, while trying to be undiscovered by the organizations that are currently running it. You guys have discovered a new ally by the name of Jonathan and have housed yourselves within the tavern in the inner circles of Avin. And during the night, Jonathan and Daisy discovered a pair of eyes seeing from within their own room, looking at them, only to discover that they had been seen by a third party of unknown origin. After discussing the matter, you guys had awoken, gained some breakfast, gained a little bit of uh, extra supplies for the rest of the day before asking Vrek to cause a distraction for all of you to possibly investigate a tower in the corner of the center of Avin that the populace seems to be avoiding, which seems to be some form of hallowed ground that the large amount of necrotic like mist seems to be avoiding at a large proximity. You guys, using a distraction of Vrek's mischievous choosing involving the circus in the center of the town, allowed you guys to get into the tower without being discovered, and investigating to see that the owner of the tower seems to be some form of a troublesome spellcaster or arcanist that apparently Vannon had heard in his recent conversations amongst his time with family in the organization that apparently had caused an organization known as a Zentarum a little bit of trouble in the past, which you know is a spellcaster by the name of Jazir Brimsoul. After discovering a little pieces of information throughout the entirety of the library, including that all of the books were all written by this Jazir, as well as a number of little pieces of unknown, mysterious information that are slowly beginning to be puzzled together. You guys are now beginning to find other small little hidden parts within this library, discovering the means of this supposed disappearance of the spellcaster Jazir. It would have been at this point, as you guys had recently discovered what seems to be a small concave like space, maybe just 2 foot in length and height, finding what seems to be a very fine looking wand and what seems to be a silver bar with the number of 6413 branded at the top of it. You will notice that there is writing that is written on the exterior of this wall over here that seems to be in primordial, as well as a number of books that, looking amongst some of the nearby bookshelves, you will see that there is a number of burn marks and freeze marks as if there has been a recent, or there was a recent battle involving some form of arcane magic, leaving scars of the battle behind. Let's see, so I need to pull up.
There's that protocol thing too. Right at the end
Yes.
of last session.
Daisy did
Is this
also.
working?
Yes, it is. Hello.
Okay.
Hey. Yeah, no, there's a lot of 6413 references everywhere.
We got the. We don't because we didn't hear it, right? Jonathan and I, who actually have the silver bar, it
Correct.
said six four
Yeah.
one three on it. Okay.
I told you guys about the whole primordial stuff, like what's written in the letter that Vannon found, what's written on the wall.
Yes.
Obviously, Harry was the only one who actually heard the insert protocol 6413.
Oh, was
Mhm.
it just Harry? I thought it was all of you over there.
Yeah, no, because I stepped
There's
away when
only
he got
two.
the hourglass.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, Daisy didn't hear it. Okay.
No, because I
Okay.
stepped away. He's grabbing an hourglass full of sand from an archmage. You
Well,
think,
I thought you said it was in a booming voice. Was it like a loud voice, Rob?
No.
Oh, what? Okay, my mistake.
Harry's just there, looks over at you, Daisy, like holding the mage hand, carefully as he places it down onto the ground.
Careful not to flip it. I don't want to
Yeah.
repeat my last 3 seconds.
Okay. Yep. I'm doing my best here. It's like that could be useful.
Or detrimental.
Yes. Right.
Who has the wand?
You do at the moment. Also, Vannon, you did use an additional second level spell slot.
Well,
Don't forget the part about the guards were like suspect to the guards now. Our whole group is, or they were following us before we came in here.
But you and Ben were the primaries.
No, they were watching all of us, but
Yes,
yeah, they
you
were.
two were the interest point.
Yeah, they're pretty interested in us, man. So I
how
got
long was
caught.
it?
I got caught. Were you here when I got caught? I thought you were.
No. No.
Oh, I was poking around in that curtain room in the inn. And then I had the worst. Well, I rolled in that one for investigation. It broke my invisibility that he gave me, and then a guard came in. I rolled
And
like
Vannon
my
rolled
worst stealth
a
roll.
0 on persuasion.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, you were supposed to distract the guard. You were at the bar with him, and you're supposed to distract him while I was in there. And then I made a noise, and you failed, and I failed, and I failed the stealth check. So they
Sounds
caught
about
me
right.
back there. I talked my way out of it for the most part, but we're definitely suspect now.
But you definitely talk about the extended warranty on his golem, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's what you're talking to that guy. I forgot about that golem.
I convinced his ass that there's an extended warranty on golems.
That's right. I
The
forgot all
voices
about that.
reverberating inside of the walls of the library. What are you guys doing over here? You guys have discovered the concave. Vannon has retrieved the wand. There is still the bar of silver that is still
Yeah, no, I was
sitting.
gonna go talk to Daisy about the silver. Because there's nothing else over here, right?
Nothing
we can-
else seems to be here at the moment. You
Alright.
do see that there is still the 5 books. Actually, no. At this moment in time, there would be 4 books that are currently resting here, as Vannon still has one of them.
Okay.
And it was the book that
Uh,
triggered the door, right? It wasn't myself.
No,
I forget
there
if it was
was.
myself.
You found
Wasn't
what
it a
seemed to
lever?
be a piece
here.
of wooden shrapnel that was inside of the 3rd book that you had put inside of a lever and pulled that lever.
Wait, wasn't the one shrapnel for the book that I'm holding?
For the
Actually,
book,
no.
I found a
My
switch.
bad.
Yeah, the switch was
There
up
we go.
here.
I found a
Switch
switch
is
like
there.
over
There you
here.
go.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Wooden shrapnel
Yeah.
is for the book that is Daisy's holding. Professor found the switch.
Oh, there were a lot of shit went down in here last night.
Oh, that was a lot of stuff.
Sure, Professor mosey on
Okay.
out. Oh, hello, Daisy.
Yes. Don't mind this
Did,
book.
did the number 6413 mean anything to you? We found a bar of silver.
It means a lot of things right now.
Harry just makes his way over, leaving the hourglass behind on the floor. Oh,
Gary,
hey. Hi.
6413 on a bar of silver. Any meaning to you?
Yeah, funnily enough, that number definitely sounds familiar.
Well, it is from the, you know, thing, the message that was on that paper, in Primordial. From dawn there shall be union, from death there shall be murder. Find the key to the cell, protocol 6413.
Oh, well,
Wait, is that the key?
I think we have Jonathan's got it. I like peek back around the bookcase.
Hey, yo,
Jonathan,
Johan, get your butt
that-
over here.
yeah, bring that silver over here.
Yeah, no. With it still in my hand, I'll go on over with it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll show
Okay.
the numbers.
Is there anything special about this bar of silver?
It's-
It is.
It's
Harry is
heavier.
going to look over and he will give a slight nod. It is glowing slightly.
It's if you feel the weight, it's a little bit heavier than a regular bar of silver should be.
Um, real
It is
quick.
a weighty bar.
So
A book falls directly on top of Daisy's head, causing her to have a bit of a dazed moment.
Oh, how long have we
I was
roughly
gonna say.
been?
Oh,
Good.
So go ahead. No, you go ahead.
How long have we roughly been in this tower now?
It's been maybe 20, maybe 30 minutes at
Okay,
this point.
so it's pretty safe to assume whatever distraction was going on outside has pretty much run its course.
Yes.
Okay.
You would believe that if there is any distraction, it would have probably been all and done by now. Unless that circus really put in the effort.
Really shredding out there.
You haven't really listened out for a while, and there doesn't seem to be any windows on this particular floor that would
Sure.
allow you to look out.
okay, I'm back. Where was I?
This bar was heavier than expected and has interesting numbers on it.
And it's
Okay.
slightly glowing.
Oh, and
Okay.
it,
We would have to find a place for it to fit if it's a key. The other thing is, if anything regarding the books is important, since either it's a red herring or it's important. And I'm not
Sure.
that good at puzzles. I may be wise and I may be tad intelligent, but puzzles were never my thing.
Certainly.
well, what makes you think this is a key? This is an odd-shaped key.
Well, anything can be a key if we're talking about magic.
True. Just you had said protocol, and well,
Yeah. What is
protocol normally is a set of instructions or an order given if there's some criteria are met, you go off a certain protocol.
Well, given that you guys were doing whatever you were at the wall, I showed the book. Well, this thing showed me quite an interesting thing. So, Jonathan, you may not know this, but the rest of them do. I saw Silas. Good old stupid gnome, his stupid hat,
You
back
really
in
need
full
to kill
glory.
him? We have to kill him.
By the way, for those that are currently in front of the book as Daisy is displaying it, you see what seems to be a very tethered and tattered looking tome that seems to be covered in a large amount of uh scrap like paper that seems to be wrapped over it like layer after layer after layer, as if each page was built on top of just the spine of the book itself. You'll see that most of the detailings are very scrapped and torn. It's very ragtag and mix match. However, you'll notice that at the front, written in partially common, and underneath it seems to be something in a language that most of you would probably not understand.
What is it?
Primordial,
Oh,
which
then
you
what
would
does it say?
understand, Daisy. It does say in common, times of avian union, and underneath in primordial, Jazir Brimsor.
One of the clues. That's. Anyways, so yeah, so there were like these 6 thrones in this room, and then Silas was talking to this massive thing inside of like a bubble that was hurting it, and I think he did say the name Jazir. He's that giant thing, and so I'm assuming somehow this key leads us to that room, and then we'll have to fight some of those big ass chain devil things from the Zentarum, free the guy, and then there's probably a teleportation circle that takes us inside the castle or something.
That
Unless,
would be so ideal, honestly.
well, I mean, the reason I think this is because I feel this was happening at the moment, not like a repetition of the past. Since Silas was talking about us and knowing that we are in the city to some extent.
Sure.
Then I'll stretch out, the bar again. Well, here I'm not much good with magic locks.
Yes. What do we do
One
with
of
it?
Mm,
You
that's a good
said you
question.
heard 6413. Where'd you hear it at? Was it from Daisy? Did you say something about 6413?
who, me?
No, Harry.
What? What?
You came over here and said you heard 6413 before, or Protocol 6413. Where did you hear it from Daisy?
I well, I kind of got it from like the piece of parchment that was happening, as well as we had this like hourglass thing. Um, it's weird.
What
I
do
don't
you
want
mean?
to touch it.
Why would have what? Okay. And the parchment said 6413.
Yes, it said in primordial, from the
No,
dawn there shall be union.
no, from Harry. I mean, because Harry said he saw it or heard it. I'm just curious where he
Well,
It's exactly what Daisy's on
from
the
the parchment.
parchment. It's on the parchment, and
Okay.
then this hourglass. It's like a purple hourglass that has like really weird purple like sand. That's like gives off waves and stuff. Um,
Oh,
we
that's
tried
annoying.
and moved it, but then it got weird, like time weird, and I don't
Okay.
want to fuck around with that.
basically
Okay.
we repeated what we did 3 seconds prior. So I had moved it back,
That's,
and then all of a sudden I was forward and moving backwards. What I had done 3 seconds prior.
I mean that. Okay.
It is a powerful item, and in the wrong hands, it can do a lot of bad, or it can do a lot of good.
Wasn't there an artifact that we saw that did something similar to that?
I thought the same thing, but it's different.
Okay. So is that? I mean, it seems related to. I kind of like nod my head at the bar of silver to that and Protocol 6413. You know.
Well, so the thing that still leaves me puzzled from the parchment is from the dawn there shall be union from death, then there shall be murder, and then find the key to the cell protocol 6413. Like if we did find the
Oh,
key,
exact.
right? So like let's assume
We
this is the
think we
key.
did. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Fair enough.
assuming this is the key, then we still have to decipher what the from the dawn there shall be union and from death there shall be murder. And I assume it has to do with the name of the book. Obviously, when I went to the third book, it gave me this thing, and I showed the bottom of the book. Was like,
Yes.
what's here? And
Yeah.
then I saw that vision.
Okay.
And if I remember correctly, the books are Dawn of Murder, Passage of Death, Call of the Haven, Damnation of the Murder, and Reunion of the Divine. Right? Well,
Yes.
so like obviously, Dawn of the Murder is the first one, and it,
Yes.
you know, you know, there's Dawn and
You-
Murder in
you're
the
free to
second.
put that in the chat for everyone else
I was
if they
just about to ask.
yeah.
Put that in text anywhere, please. Yeah, if you don't mind, Daisy, please do.
There we go.
I didn't write that down last time. Thank you very much.
The book names.
Ah, where I'm pretty sure I wrote Behaving wrong, but here.
It's fine.
No, you got them.
Hey, I've never
Thank you
written
very much.
Behaving before, so.
Perfect.
So at this moment in time, I would believe that unless they were put back, Harry should have the first book. Van should have the second, and Daisy should still have the third, unless they were put back.
Yeah, no, I
The
still have.
fourth and the fifth are still there.
So you think it's a matter of how we order those books on the shelf?
No, because then there should be a sixth book. If we're talking
Maybe
about 6.13.
perhaps the key is the sixth. It goes in the missing spot. You know what I'm saying? Or no? Am I way off with that?
Is there a missing spot if we put all the 5 books back in their place?
I said there's a sixth book,
Uh,
or there should be a sixth book.
Harry's gonna move over, hand over his book.
I'll put the third one back. It's
First
it
and
seems to me like
third, put back. Second one is still technically missing.
huh, okay.
There is a space between the first and the third one.
yeah, that would be.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
That's the one you fix the spine on, right? Or no, that's which one
No,
you
the one I
fixed?
have is completely separate.
Okay.
29.
29. Let's see. Making the space of just trying to like get like a little bit of a measurement of how big the books are, and then trying to figure out of how much space that second book would make. You will find that indeed there is a space next to the fifth one that does show a slight hint of lesser layers of dust in comparison to the others. Indeed, there seems to be a missing book.
Would the one I have fit?
Uh, Possibly.
I won't put it there, but I want to like hold the books and then just hold this book right out front of the shelf, see if it aligns.
Um, yeah, I'll just go ahead and say, as you you put out your hand, measure it right along line the bookshelf, and try and get a good angle to see whether or not it would fit. Yes, you would essentially see the book align perfectly with the sixth slot. That would be a nice addition.
Then yeah, this is the sixth book. I showed you.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Well, I mean,
Problem solved.
its name is the Avian Union. Well, in times of Avian Union. So that's so. This is the sixth. And 413. Hmm.
So it goes.
Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Dune is doing something. Just reading random books, taking one that might be big first. Okay. Dune, roll me an investigation check, please. Fantastic.
Love it. It makes sense.
You find over here that there's a large number of picture books.
Which way? Which way?
These two shelves right here.
I immediately head that way.
Large number of picture books.
I just start going through them all and just like, ooh, oh.
God.
Wait,
What
stop.
type of picture?
I'm starting from right here and I'm going all the way down, boy.
What type of pictures are these?
What kind of pictures?
You'll find that there's a lot of pictures, hand-drawn pictures of what seems to be someone traveling amongst the wilds of Essrena. There's also quite a few books that show actual detailed pictures of some creatures of the local wildlife that you can see. You also recognize what seems to be some slight hints of other wildlife that you don't recognize to be inhabitants of Essrena. Um, but you see that there's different names that seem to be resting over them.
Well, I'm going down through this section of both these sections here. I'm actually going to look any book that I find that has any monsters or creatures in it. I'm just going to take it and put it in my bag, as many as I can fit
Okay.
while they're doing that. And anything maybe about locations that I don't know, maybe if I can fit those in my backpack, I'll take those too.
Okay. So you can go ahead and put the Wild Traveler's Guide to Essrena,
Hell yeah.
as well as Hunting for Kindle Gardeners.
Yeah.
Picture book.
Oh my god, it fits too
It's
well.
not exactly a hunting for kindergartners. It's hunting for first steps. Picture book. Essentially, someone's first rendition of trying to teach how the young ones would be able to hunt down local creatures.
Pictures, I'll take them.
There's a few pictures that are hand drawn that are like basically fashioning weapons, fashioning like the first like arrows, and then at the back you can see like the first like basics of how to kill your first axe beak, how to like bring down your first like knoll, etc., etc. But there's actually a few of them that are of the local animal like creatures that you can actually take some notes from.
Okay. I will actually do that. And when I find them, I'll kind of sit on the ground and just finger through them, sitting on the floor, like about right here.
Taking a few books, placing them down in small stacks next to you, and you're just taking one of them, flicking through the pages.
Yeah. No one's ever seen this before, so this is shocking to pretty much everybody.
Harry's just like standing there, just looks through the two bookshelves for a moment, just like has to take a double take of like, oh, and just like goes back to what the group were doing.
Like, oh shit, Dune's reading. Well, anyways.
Like, wait a second. Oh, okay. Going back business.
Weird. Must
Fascinating.
focus.
Hmm.
So I know the 4 I get, but I don't know where the other 2 books go. If you match the order of the books with what you read in Primordial.
Well, yeah. If we order them, then Dawn of the Murder,
Yes.
Passage of Death. See, the problem is Dawn of the Murder, because there's
Yeah, that's
Damnation
first.
of the Murder and then Dawn of the Murder, right? So there's two ones that start with murder, but one of them starts
Yes.
with Dawn. And so if we assume that Dawn of the Murder, which is the first word that's
Yes.
said in the Primordial, then
Yeah.
that should be 6.
Yeah, Dawn of Murder should be first, and then
And then the
the
next one would
Reunion
be
of the
Union, which would be
Divine.
this one, the one I have.
Yeah, the Reunion of the Divine should be second.
And then obviously Death, which would be Passage of Death, would be following one.
Yeah, it's
And then Shall
third.
Be Murder should be the final book.
Yes, there's
Sorry, the
6
fourth book.
books total. Yeah, there's 6 total, and that's like how 4 of them would go.
Yeah, because then we have like leftovers, the Call of the Behaven, and then the Reunion of the Divine. Because there's a difference between a reunion and a union, after all.
Yeah, but there is no Union would be. We'd have Reunion in for Union, right? What would we have in that spot though?
We have both union and reunion, which is a problem, right? So
Yes. Yeah. Just okay.
and that's just like numbering these books, right? Because they're set in this order, but we do not know if this is their correct order in the code or if they're ordered by the chronology of how they were written,
And what code are you using?
the protocol 6413.
So, and your other book is number 6, right?
The assumption is if we're taking it as a collection, going from the first book written to the last one, yes. But if we assume that the number corresponding to the book is the one that's written in Primordial, then this would be the second. Sorry, the fourth book.
Yeah, if you put them in 6-4-1-3 order, you're saying. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think
Right.
that's
So
in the.
wouldn't Call of the Behaven be number 3?
No, it wouldn't be included.
It wouldn't be included in the protocol. That and the reunion of the divine would not be included. That's
And
the
why
only
are
thing
you
that
leaving out the reunion of the divine?
because
The reunion of the
because
divine
this is
belongs
the
there. Then
union. This is in times of avian union, and the word that is
Mhm.
stated specifically is union and not reunion.
there's no union book title. There's only
Yes, there is.
reunion,
See?
right?
And I
Where?
show him the book I'm holding.
Oh, that's God damn! I keep
Book
yeah,
number.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
Book
because you
number
got the
so
one in your hand. I keep looking at the list.
so
Okay.
Harris
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
to like wave his hand. So the first book is Dawn of Murder. The second book is Passage of Death. Third book is Call of the Behaven. Fourth book is Damnation of the Murder. Fifth one is the Reunion of the Divine, and the last one is the Daisy.
It's in times of avian union.
Thank you.
Right. Right. So that means the Call of the Behaven is third.
In the
But
current
wouldn't
order.
it be Daisy's? And then Jonathan will point. Wouldn't it be Daisy's book, and then Damnation, and then Dawn, and then Behaven?
That is the other way. Yes.
Well, isn't that
You're
from
going off
first?
the number.
I mean, we have numbers, right? 6-4-1-3.
Yes.
Protocols are
follow that.
very strict in numerical. There's a reason there's a number to it, so you can go in sequential order.
Yes.
So 6-4-1-3 is a specific number. So if these are numbered books, then wouldn't we do book numbered to numbered numbers?
I don't think
Well,
they're specifically numbered. They
yes,
just have an
but
order
then-
on the shelf.
Well, that's the thing, right? But then we would have to assume that from the dawn there shall be union, from death there shall be murder,
Yes.
is either a line in one of these books or it's just a red herring.
Yeah, because that's what we're comparing the. I get the number thing. We're comparing the numbers to the. I don't know if you want to call it the poem that
To
Daisy
the
discovered.
phrase.
The phrase. Because the words in the phrase also match the book titles pretty specifically. And again, yeah, there's only room for 4, which is odd, too.
Then
Like,
there's 2 murders.
Yeah, there's
Exactly.
2
That's
murders.
the other problem. There's 2 murders.
But
One
So
How
do you
long
go
is
with the
Dawn had
lead or the end?
Hey Rob, how long is that sixth book?
Sorry. How
Like,
long
how
is
many
this
pages?
book?
Yeah, how many pages?
Daisy is currently holding it. And
I
it
can
looks
handle it.
reasonably medium sized.
Like over 100 pages?
Maybe 100 to maybe 300 pages, yeah.
Daisy, can you turn to page 41 and then look at the third word?
I can try it.
I was just curious.
I'll do as Vanin said.
Okay. Going over to the 6th, flicking through the tome and going to the 41st page, you'll find the third word that is written on the page. You'll see that there is detailings of what seems to be a mixture of quicksilver and thyme to create the perfect ointment to deter werewolves. And you'll see
What?
that the third word on the page is key.
Vanin, you're a
yeah,
genius.
that is a good idea, man.
So the key is this deterrent to werewolves then, which would be
Um,
Quicksilver, which is the bar.
No, the book itself's the key, right? It's saying that book is the key.
No,
Have
the
you
key
just
is the
tried?
quicksilver thing.
Have you tried just putting the book back in the shelf? Have I seen Daisy do that?
no.
I have it.
Just try putting it back in the damn shelf. See what happens.
I put it on the shelf reluctantly.
Yeah, I think the book's the key.
You slide the book onto the shelf and it slides perfectly into place. Nothing seems to happen.
Okay, never mind.
All right, we need some time, people. Who has time here?
What's that ointment gonna do for? I think the keyword is key, right? Like something about that book specifically. No.
Well, if the third word is key, then wouldn't the mixture be the key? Because
Uh,
you said you found a bar of silver that weighs more than your average silver,
yes.
correct?
Yeah.
Then wouldn't it be good to assume that this is quicksilver?
Do I know anything about Quicksilver, Rob? What I know of, does it weigh the same or slightly more or less than regular silver?
Quicksilver is usually a mixture of silver and iron and steel to create a much lighter version of plate or chainmail armor that's resistant or propels werewolves to stop them from biting the wearer in many cases. It's usually a more protective source of stopping people in werewolf territory from being affected by lycanthropy. However, you've never really heard of the actual properties and effects of Quicksilver before.
Okay.
Would
So
Harry as
nothing.
the smith?
So you said it glows too a little bit, right? Like it's magical, somewhat.
Harry does nod. It is glowing a little.
Well, Harry, you know metallurgy. Would Quicksilver glow? You're the man to ask about metallurgy.
Uh, takes a second, thinks for a moment. Let's see. Smith's tools, I think, would be the best option here, honestly. Just base knowledge.
Well, yeah,
21.
Harry.
Actually, I'll reduce that a little because it should be intelligence. So that is a 17, but I will go ahead and add guidance. So it is a 21.
Heyo.
Back
There it
to
is.
21.
Back to
Back to
21
21.
regardless. Heck
21.
yeah.
So 21 for Harry. He will give a slight nod for a moment. Yeah, normally Quicksilver does have a slight hint of magical properties due to it being made to protect from
Okay, well,
unnatural things, but not by this much. Usually it's like an innate, like slight aura of a glow, but this is clearly some form of magic. Or
okay.
something is magical about it.
Then I'll walk over to Harry. Well, is this feels like it's heavier than it should. Is that an aspect of property of Quicksilver? And I'll hand it out if he needs to discern a
Adjust
bit.
his lenses of the goggles for a moment. Well, I can tell you now that this is definitely not just standard Quicksilver just by a quick glance. If you don't mind, he'll like hold his hands out for a moment.
Yeah, I'll give it.
Just takes a second. Okay, yeah, that's definitely different. As you'll see him physically like drop for a moment as if he wasn't prepared for the initial weight. Usually, Quicksilver's a bit lighter than this. This is a lot heavier than normal Quicksilver.
So, could this be cast and something's inside it?
Possibly. Uh, it
I
would
mean, if
probably
it were
lose
stone, I'd tell
any.
you.
The issue would be is if this was melted down, or if it could be melted down due to the magical properties, it would essentially destroy any magic that is therefore within it. Um, I don't know if this is meant to be cast down here. At least I don't have the provisions to do anything like that at the moment. Shit.
All right. Yeah, it just
Oh.
seemed interesting. It's heavier, and the magic glow is slightly off. If this were stone, I'd swear it was a case. But I don't know metal.
Well,
Rob.
then it has to be opened. Yes.
When in the book it said time, it's time as in the herb, right?
Time is in the herb. Yes.
Okay.
Walking around, do I feel? I know I'm first time stepping anywhere around here. Um, I know a good bit of wilderness. Do I get the sense that this is not a good indigenous area for time?
Uh, you look around.
Well, I mean, while we were out, since the time was mentioned,
Mhm.
trying to recollect my, while we were outside.
You did see that there was a small patch of it growing towards the east of this tower.
Mhm.
Apart from that, not a lot. There wasn't a lot of flora that seems to be growing, especially naturally, around the wilds of Essrena, due to it
Mhm.
being mostly desert.
I gotcha. I'll just
But yes, you did see that there was a small cultivated little patch of what looked to be small farm of time that was currently being placed on the eastern side of the tower.
yeah, I was
As you
gonna
were
say
exploring.
like a little herb garden.
Yeah, a little herb garden that you did see on the side.
I'll just mention that. Yeah, well, whoever was in this tower, I think if I could get out of the tower, I could probably harvest some. There was a patch of thyme outside.
I mean, if we could also get Wreck here, he cooks a lot. He could have time already in his pouches, and we wouldn't need to harvest it.
As you say that, Daisy, you hear the
Oh,
sound of the door to the library open and then close.
Ah, shit. I rushed to the side, trying to peek through, see what I see.
Uh,
Let's
you
see. I
look
can
over
only
and
see.
don't see anything.
I can see dude.
You can see Dune, who's currently surrounded by what seems to be like 3 stacks of books.
I went, dude, the door opened.
Hold on. I would have noticed.
Oh, okay. It's gonna be funny. I'm gonna grab a book from the shelf and try to lob it at dude like 70 feet away.
Okay.
Go that far?
Hell no, but I can certainly try.
Daisy, go ahead and roll me a.
She says I'm cut out.
Yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead and roll
waiting.
me. Go ahead and roll me an athletics check, please.
Uh, yeet.
15's
Excellent.
impressive.
15. You fling what seems to be a nearby book towards Dune's location, and you do actually send it across the floor to a point where it tumbles over one of the stacks of books that's currently surrounding him. Dune, you feel one of the stacks of books tumble over as you're currently reading what seems to be a book about a bear and an owlbear.
I kind of look up and look at Daisy and give her like a what the hell face. Like,
I do a gesture of door open. Look.
I'll look over there, I'll put the book down, I'll pull out my axe, type my right hand, and I'll kind of just get right here and see if I can see at the door.
Dune, roll me a perception check, please.
Oh, I'm great at these.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are.
Okay. You are looking over towards the door,
Mm-hmm.
and you are waiting to see if anything happens. and then you hear a slight creaking of wooden floorboards over here in this direction.
Okay. I wouldn't know the professor's right here, probably.
No.
Then I'll kind of like make my way over here, kind of try the best I can not to make it too much noise, and get ready for what comes around the corner.
Okay. You wait to see if something happens. Very faintly, you hear the sound of wooden floorboards echoing out from around the bookshelf, preparing yourself only for nothing to be there.
I just kind of look around confused. I kind of look in Daisy's direction and just shrug my shoulders. And I just like kind of like my hand in front of my face. Every time I don't see anything.
Professor,
Mm-hmm.
as you're hidden behind the bookshelves, there is a
Yeah.
sudden sound of creaking floorboards directly behind you.
Remember, hold on. No,
As
remember, I have blind sense. I have blind sense. Don't forget I have blind sense with that
okay,
character.
you feel approaching a
What?
set of footsteps, and you'll see a familiar figure stepping before you, however currently invisible, however will currently uncloak and stepping directly in front of you. Professor, good sir, it seems that the distraction was quite fruitful
Yeah,
and
effective.
extremely well thought out. Quite valuable allies, it seems.
Certainly.
I realize this working going back to my books.
Do you lower your eyes? Just
Bro,
giving a
like how
slight sigh of, oh, god damn it.
Yeah, I'm sad.
besides like I'm like, "Bro, what are you doing?"
Perfect timing, Brick.
It's Freck. And I just go back to my
Oh.
books all sad and just mope, flip through my picture book of
Oh,
my owl bears.
we were just talking about you, Brick. Would you
Oh,
happen to have any time on you? Spice, not
time.
yes.
Sadly, I do not have my pocket watch on me at the moment.
Oh, not
Is
the herb. Time the herb for cooking.
oh, the herb.
Yes.
One moment. You'll just see them quickly scrambling through their satchel, takes out a few jars, takes out a few like sashes and small bags. Takes a few like sniffs and like holds them up to their antennae for a moment until eventually giving a slight shake of the head. No, I did see some outside.
Damn it.
Could you send your unseen servant to grab some, Brack?
Uh, sure. I could
It-
probably do that.
Okay,
Yes.
but before that happens, Vreck, how did you open
Yes.
the door?
Uh, well, there's this magical thing called unlocking.
Oh yeah, you could do that, couldn't you? That's right. I'm sorry. I underestimated your abilities, Vreck. I apologize.
Oh, no need to worry. I've been
He wasn't aware
underestimated
of your
plenty of
game.
times before. Anyways, yes. I will be right back. I will see what we can do with time. Are we
Yes.
are we causing are we like camping here? Is that the situation? Are you needing me to
No.
make you some stew?
No, we're making a key of sorts. We'll fill you in
How
once you grab it.
that does not make any sense. How does one make a key with a herbal plant? Never mind. I'll be right back.
It's an
I'll fill
ointment.
you in.
It's an ointment. And actually, we might need to end up camping out in here if we don't, because we can't leave through that front door, right?
I
There's
mean,
no
to be
time
fair,
when it's safe.
this place is very safe, honestly.
Can you keep it down? I'm trying to read here.
Sorry,
This
sorry,
isn't
dude.
the public library, dude.
What's a
might be.
library?
It's a private one. There's a difference.
Oh, shut up! I'm trying to read. This is very interesting. Real good.
Wreck is gonna look through the keyhole. and send his unseen servant out that way.
The bear and the owl are making up. I need to read this. Be quiet.
It's interesting.
Wait, are you looking at the section how they're born?
No, they had a big fight, and now they're being nice again. It's cute.
After a minute or
Eating
so.
celebrities?
After a minute or so, Frank returns and calls his unseen servant back, which knocks and then hands him over a small little gathering of time. Makes his way over. Continue.
So yeah, I pull out the 6th book, open it to the 41st page, and show him the freaking section. And then I obviously tell him what the parchment says.
Curious.
We think the key is this ointment that we have to make. Quicksilver that Jonathan and Harry have, and time.
Just looks
I'll
over towards
grab
the
it back
professor.
and bring
Is
it
this
up.
because you created werewolves and now we have to make a deterrent for them?
No. It's complicated. We feel like this is some sort of key to, I'm guessing, to open up the basement of this tower.
Still, it's quite the coincidence, though.
It
It
is.
is
It's
quite a
very common.
coincidence.
I mean,
Just like looks over directly towards the professor. Quite the coincidence.
no. To be fair, yeah, I mean, I've been striking my mind that if there's any leftover ointment, it might be useful for the werewolves outside, but not the primary use. I'm
I'm-
afraid.
I mean, we have a huge bar of Quicksilver, so it might be useful. Make
Yes.
a lot.
Yes.
Okay, so how exactly does this work?
I don't know. I don't know. You know, alchemy.
Um, give me a moment and I could probably figure it out. He'll hold the smaller hands out for the book.
I give him the book.
Uh, he'll just look down for a moment. Give me 30 minutes, and he's just gonna
Hold on.
walk over to the
Exactly.
corner
Before you
over
do that,
here and sit down.
You may want to try this alchemist robe we have. Try that on just to see if it might help a little bit.
Wait,
Ooh,
you still have
There you
that?
go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Holy shit!
That's gonna help a
Alright.
lot.
It's gonna put that on.
+5 at least.
Let's see.
Fair, but
Rick, we have to cook.
It's gonna take a moment, essentially a short rest to try and start figuring out what is exactly needing to be done with this particular time and quicksilver solution. Anything else anyone wishes to do in preparation as he's fixing this up?
I would also like to take a short rest.
Okay.
I might as well.
I'm going.
I'm
to
continuing to
do
gather
some items.
knowledge.
Dune, roll me an investigation check.
Yeah,
Hey, that's better.
Oh yeah,
a
that
lot
ain't bad.
better than a 2.
Okay. Let's see here. So what exactly are you looking for, Dune?
That's a good question. I'm just, you know what? More picture books about monsters. There you go.
Okay. You will actually find near. You'll find a book right over here at the start of this particular bookshelf. That says "The Titans of the Lost Mountains."
Ooh, I grab it.
You'll find essentially a number of pictures which seem to be of larger esque like creatures and monsters that seem to be a slight detailing of each of them as if someone has taken time to essentially look over some of these creatures in the wild of reasonably larger size to take down the details and
Beautiful.
to
Okay.
take down the details and statistics of their ongoing progress. You'll find that a number of these creatures
Mhm.
will be mostly in the Kantulin area and
Mhm.
and the Yatini area.
I will definitely make sure that I priority to put in my backpack. Make space for that one.
For Note Dune,
Mhm.
Yatini and Tristan Tier, or Cantillin, should I say,
Mhm.
are the areas that surround the Howling Mall, which is the large mountain towards the north, where you've seen the
Gotcha.
Red Drake.
Okay. I'll
But
make
you'd
sure he
find
does.
that a large number of pages seem to have been filled with a large number of very interesting beasts
Okay.
that you could possibly look into.
Okay. I'm definitely taking that because we're going there at some point in time. So I'm definitely
Mhm.
keeping a hold on that book.
Okay. Uh, while everyone is taking a short rest, you can go
Vayner
ahead
wants to.
and
Vayner will bring Avi back as a spider.
excellent.
Oh, one more time.
Ozzy's
Can you tell
now
me
a
the name of the
spider.
book's called again?
It is boom. The Titans of the Lost Mountains.
Thank you.
Yeah. So if you are all taking a short rest, go ahead and roll hit dice if you need to. Gain any benefits that you should get from a short rest.
Any of us should
And
be damaged, right?
I'm on attuning to my Cinder Clasp and attuning to the Staff of Withering.
Okay.
I never
It's
thought I'd
somewhat.
laugh so hard at it before. That was so
And
Still
it,
good.
recovering.
and just out of curiosity, like I don't need to do anything. But out of curiosity, can I just want to see what happens if I try to attune to that wand during the short rest. You said you couldn't, right? I guess if I just pick it up, can I like sense that I can't attune to it, or how's that work exactly with attunement items?
You would
I can't.
know that you would feel like a slight humming that uh most magical items would give in the general
Mhm.
sense of things,
Okay.
except for those that usually diminish their magical aura for more secrecy reasons.
Okay.
Um, but when holding the wand, you don't feel the usual drawing sensation that you get when you are able to try and attune to something.
Huh. Okay.
It's
That
as
was
if whenever you're trying to connect to it, there's a sudden barrier that seems to prevent you from doing so.
no. Neither can I. Just hand it back to Van, and
You
perhaps
want me to
that
try
as
as well?
go. I mean, if you want, have at it.
I'll,
Then I'm
I'll try.
hand it to
I'll
Daisy or
try.
something.
The same deal.
Yeah,
Oh
it's some.
shit!
I'm guessing it might have something to do with all this because we found it right next to that bar of silver.
Hmm.
So it could be related. I don't know how. Did you say it was, Van? Or is this a regular wand of the War Mage, +2 essentially? No other effects that you picked up on?
I have no idea.
Yeah, you
So
identified it in your.
you identified it. You would recognize that it was indeed a wand of the mage +2. However, there seemed to have been some effect or something that seems to have prevented you from attuning to it. It's as if the wand itself was rejecting you.
Am I too good for you, wand?
I mean, that'd be wrong because I'm the good one here, and it also rejected me.
Yeah,
I
no
think
one
it
likes
just
you.
it belongs to whoever's locked
Oh
in
shit!
the basement of the tower.
Well, more than likely, yes. Could this thing have its soul of its own? And that's why it's rejecting us because it
It,
doesn't recognize us as its true master.
yeah, 'cause honestly, it's possible. I don't.
Do
I
we
have no
have to
clue.
unarm our potential ally just to gain mastery over this wand?
How heavy is that wand?
Yes, I came to free you so I could take your wand.
How heavy is
Are
that
you-
wand? Is like a normal wand weight?
Dune calling out from behind the bookshelves as he gets to his next page of possible hunting.
This takes
Opportunity.
extreme focus.
Just at the end of all of this, thank you for saving me. Oh, thank you. Have you seen my? Oh, anyways, you guys are taking your time to finish up. Harry is going to also prepare his weapons. He's gonna look over towards Jonathan for a moment. Let's see. Who has he actually got the infused items on? I completely forgot.
I have the +1 to armor from Harry.
+1 to armor, and then he has his repeating shot. That's right. Yeah, he's not gonna change that. As much as he'd want to. Mm. Okay, he does have that tuned. Good. Okay. So he has that ready. He's actually gonna bring out the hilt of a blade for a moment, check it over, make sure it's all prepared, and then put it back into his sheath. And that'll be Harry's short rest. Vrek is just about done with the book. We'll look over at all of you. I do believe that I should be able to fix up a small amount of this particular solution. Is this really necessary?
Well, we don't know. We have to look around for a keyhole or a place
Okay.
to
All right.
either put the bar or pour this in. If either of these two things are the key. Harry did say he heard something around in the general direction where we were, but he refused to say completely what he heard.
Uh, Look, I heard stuff from the hourglass, and that's all I know.
Hourglass is
Well,
probably related.
Vrek just looks over. Hourglass?
yes, it's if it tumbles either direction, the sand will, I imagine, either accelerate time or take back time, and then you repeat everything you did.
You see him immediately close the book with his small hands, scrambling up to stand up and start making a
I didn't
beeline.
grab it
Let him
from
check it out. He might figure something out with it. Let him be.
Like,
Just
at least wait
books
for
it.
me.
Just
I'd
books
say
it
far away.
down towards the desk, just looking around until he
I
will
point to-
see the purplish like hourglass that is currently resting there.
I'm watching
Just
at a safe distance.
Don't tumble it. That's all that you can look at it. Just don't tumble it, because it did affect the room entirely.
You're giving me plenty of stipulations, but does not satiate the curiosity.
I'm sorry. An old friend said to be careful in every situation, and she got herself killed because she wasn't.
They sound extremely boring.
Well, technically, you're their replacement, but hey,
Just looks over. I'm a replacement for no one. I'm here because of the fact that the professor is needing me.
We needed her as well. Now she's gone, bro. But do carry on.
Yes. Let us see. He'll like reach out for a moment with his mage hand, and you'll see the mage hand begin to wrap around the hourglass just like Harry's had done. Harry's gonna also join in, just like eyes widening as this is happening. So, what exactly does this thing do? Just turns back time?
Well, Harry tipped it a tiny bit, and then I went back to where I was 3 seconds earlier and started repeating the exact same movements.
Come on. Okay, I need Rack to be intelligent here. Oh, he might do it. Who knows?
I mean, he still has his +5s as well.
Yeah, he's gonna use that. 25. Probably just guidance, just to make sure. So 28. You'll see the mage hand grasp a hold of the foundation like cage of the hourglass and lifting it up into the air, perfectly angling it and making sure that it stays level. You'll see him lift it and carefully carry it over until it rests on top of the table. He'll step up, get a closer look, and begin to examine it for a moment. Ah, strange. It's like looking into some other place.
Like a pocket dimension of sorts.
Uh, you'll probably have a better chance. You're the better eyes of me, I think.
I'll go up next to him and start looking at it.
Roll me a perception check, please.
This is wrong. Alright. 31.
31. Um, as you look into the swirling purple like sand and powder like contents of the hourglass, you do see what seems to be slight ripples in the sand and space itself, as you see what seems to be prismatic like reflections of the room you're currently in. However, it seems that each mirror image that you're looking at is currently a passage of you guys currently entering the room, you guys currently investigating and searching around the room, the sudden mixture of you and Harry with the hourglass maybe a couple of minutes before, and now as Rek is currently looking in, you can see a partial reflection in one of the mirror images of yourself staring in and looking through the hourglass itself.
Question. Are there 6 of these mirrors inside of it?
You can see that there are 6 total. Yes.
Are any of them shattered?
Uh, roll me an investigation check, please.
Can I guidance myself?
Yes. You'll see. with a 23. That looking through the first 4 glass-like reflective mirror-like panels, you can see what seems to be a hairline fracture that seems to be directly down the center. And you will also see what seems to be in the 5th mirror, what seems to be a slowly cracking hairline fracture that seems to be making its way maybe an 1/8 down the top of that particular mirror.
Does this interior of this hourglass remind me of the room I saw when I was looking at the vision of the book?
No. It is a reflection of the room you're currently in. As if the hourglass is currently in the perspective of sitting on the table when these passages were.
Right.
While this is happening, is anyone else doing anything?
Yeah, nothing.
I'm
I was just going to
scouring.
continue going to the outside wall looking for any irregularities.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check, please, Jonathan. $13. Uh, Moving around the interior wall and trying to make your way around, you do slip by some of the nearby bookshelves, squeezing through. You do find that there's a thick layer of dust over most of these bookshelves that does show a large amount of inactivity over maybe months or so. You'll find that there doesn't seem to be any extra details or any inaccuracies that you can see. However, what you do notice, looking around, is that there are numbers currently resting on some of these bookshelves.
Which ones?
There are numbers that seem to be resting on parts of the bookshelves that seem to be separating them each individually.
Can I make the numbers out?
You'll see over here is 1, and it seems to go from 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All of them seem to be indicated with a number of sorts.
So this one's 1? Or are they 1 through
There
10
is
on each
1
shelf?
through 10.
On each shelf.
1 through
Or
10,
case, sorry.
and in this case, and then
Mhm.
there's 11 through 20 in this
Mm.
case.
Gotcha. Yeah, seeing these, I'll walk the cases and get an idea of how high it goes.
Okay. Do, do, do. You'll see it goes up to 150.
And that's this case down here.
Down here.
Okay.
You'll see that it seems to snake around like so.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll as I'm still, as we're still waiting, then I'll
Mhm.
just re-walk the cases, sort of getting a sense of, now that I know that they're numbered, that means there's order to it. Seeing if
Mhm.
there's a secondary sort of order to basically, how we have the Dewey Decimal System, right? So it's by number and author, or
Mhm.
author name, and then if it's what genre it is. So sort of that idea
Right.
is, yeah.
Okay. You'll find that looking through the quick bookshelf that you're currently next to, that in the author category of every single one of these books is the same, which is Jazir Brimsoul. You'll also notice that each of them are categorized. That in every section, there is up to 4 uh, bookshelves, and then they're all 10 across. So each section has 40 books. You will also notice as you're moving around that when you get over to the same bookshelf of the Raven Crow series that you had been discussing about earlier, that you will find that the Raven and the Crow are in section 64 on the first section, and they are the third book that starts. Which again, that number seems to be coming up again. Apart from that, nothing else seems to really catch your attention over the time.
Okay. I'll keep looking to, like, I'll just sort of see if any I'll just keep walking and see if any other irregularities come out.
The only irregularities that you can see right now seems to be the large purple hourglass that
Mm-hmm.
Reckon Daisy seems to be tampering with on the front desk.
Right.
Apart from that, nothing else seems to be really catching your attention.
Okay.
Anything
How
else
do
that
we,
needs to be covered?
how do we get in here? Just out of curiosity. What direction?
You got here by you dimension dooring in, I believe.
Okay.
I got in the building, yeah.
So I did already take that off. You did use one of your dimension doors to get yourself and the professor inside, since you couldn't unlock it.
And then, so the staircase. Did we see where this came from?
The staircase leads up to a secondary floor. However, the top of the staircase seems to have been caved in with a large amount of debris. After Jonathan and Dune had tried to remove the debris, they had seen that the foundations had taken structural damage that could have possibly caused the secondary floor to possibly collapse on top of you should the stone be removed. You believe that this might have been in the occurrence of the possible battle that might have been happening here, especially with the battle scars of burns and freeze marks along the sides of some of these bookcases that you've seen.
Can I come over to um the mirror thing and look at it? See if see if I can find the farthest back portion or whatever it is, that the farthest back visual they have on there.
The
on that.
mirror.
Yeah.
Roll me a perception check, please. 20. Uh, Looking back and looking into the hourglass, seeing the waves of the purplish, like powdered sand that seems to ripple from within one of the insides of the hourglass, you can see, much like Daisy looking through the other side, what seems to be slight reflective, like mirrors that seem to be displaying yourselves, maybe an hour or two before this current occurrence of you guys currently entering the space, currently investigating the library as you guys had just entered the space itself.
So it only dates back like a few hours.
It looks like that the first mirror is only displaying maybe 1 or 2 hours in the past, so
Okay. And it goes, there's 6 of them total, right?
there are 6 of them total.
Can I investigate the last one?
You'll look at the last one, and you'll see yourself looking directly towards you, as if there is a mirror reflection directly facing you.
Okay.
But it's translucent enough for you to see through where Daisy and Vrek are also standing, looking through the hourglass itself.
Basically, there's nothing. It only goes back a few hours at best. It looks like that I could tell. At least.
Vrek looks over towards you for a moment. That is still quite an adequate amount. A couple of
Yeah.
hours in time is more than enough to be very dangerous.
I was just curious if we can go back in time to when this battle happened. Is what I was curious.
That could be
Looks
months.
That's why I was curious how far back it went.
we Vrek just looks over with a slight hint of curiosity as you see the antennae gently hint through the hood. We can always experiment to see if there's any
I
limitations.
will say, I think the inside of this thing breaks the more you use it, because 4 of its mirrors are broken, and the 5th one is starting to break. So I think it has a limited amount left to use. So we should use it wisely and not experiment willy nilly. Yes,
Vrek
I'm
gives
coming,
like
top laner.
slight disappointed.
And what is this a pile of over here?
What seems to be a large amount scrapped up tones, vials that seem to have liquid that was sticky enough to show slight remains, where there is like dust and patches of what seems to be something remaining there that where the dust cannot fully gather. There seems to be just a large amount of scrap that you had originally gotten the tome that Daisy is currently holding.
All right. That's all I had.
Gotcha.
Turn down my damn phone and tell that top laner to shut the fuck up. I'm doing jungle camps. Can you hear? Damn it. Anyways.
All right. Carrying on. You can continue as you wish.
Hurt. As I come over here, I put Ozzy into Professor's pocket.
Has
Hell yeah.
the hourglass spoken to Van and Vrek or me while we were looking at it?
Does not seem to have spoken. No.
Ooh, speaking of which, all right, can I pull out the wand and point the wand at the hourglass? Not touch it, just point it at it.
Okay. Speaking of which, give me a second. Finally have the damn thing that I can actually put on to the map real quick. There we go. There is your hourglass.
Ooh.
Sick.
As it is sitting there, you point the wand towards it, as you do see that there is a very faint purplish glow that seems to emanate at the tip of the wand.
I wonder if there's something we need to do with the wand.
That's what I was thinking. It's probably does have something to do with what's going on.
Have you tried touching the wand to the thing to see if it does anything? I says I read my book.
Vannon will touch it. It was like briefly, like as softly as humanly possible, elfily as possible.
Okay.
Hopefully it's possible.
Vannon, you place the wand, reaching out carefully, doing your best to gingerly touch the tip of the glowing wand against the side of the hourglass. As you do, you'll see that the glow at the tip of the wand begins to grow larger and larger until the purplish energy begins to emanate around the tip until it touches the glass. Vannon, a moment of your time.
Oh god.
Oh, we should
Good
have
luck.
done
Be right
that.
back, everyone.
Should have done the salve first.
You're welcome.
Oh.
I can touch you now.
Don't you love when Dune actually gives a good solid idea that can kill you?
I knew that. Wouldn't think touch the hourglass alarm. I knew that one had something to do with something.
I can see why they
Good
call you
idea.
the professor. The thing has a thing to do with the thing at some time,
Yes.
somewhere, somehow. I
Yes.
knew it! Precisely my calculations.
Whole time. Christ.
I mean, if you think about it, he touched the hourglass with the wand. I looked through the book. We did take precautions. I mean, shit, it's the name of the game.
Go ahead,
Sure.
player.
Big risk, high rewards, or death. Death is still a reward
Yeah.
in itself. It's a reward for fucking around and finding out.
Pretty much.
Hmm. Shit, that was
Okay.
quick.
As you guys watch Vannon press the tip of the wand against the side of the hourglass, you'll see for a moment Vannon shift for a second as if his body looked around. Daisy, you'll see his head looking over towards you and Vrek quickly in a matter of seconds, and then quickly looking back and pulling the wand back away.
Can I borrow the ingot or whatever it is and the time? I just want to hold it a second.
If you have an idea as to what to do, then be my guest.
Um, bu- 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 Yep, Vrek will look over, give a nod, and hand over the ointment-like mixture that he had created, which is currently in a small vial that was previously fashioned for a healing potion.
I want to just dip the very tip of the wand into the vial.
Okay.
and then I'll touch the wand again to the hourglass.
Okay. Vannon, a moment of your time.
And again.
Good luck. Good luck, fool.
Man, I didn't think my idea would be this was trouble. Oh, my bad.
I mean, it was a very good idea at this point, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just touch it. Okay. Oh shit, that actually worked.
Yeah, like take advice from the giant man reading children's picture books. Makes sense.
No man, you love to see it. It's the name of the game. Like you literally like the dumbass barbarian says, "Do this to the intelligent people." Ends up solving the puzzle. Who would have thought?
You just figure it out, idiots.
Yeah,
You
you don't
gotta
think
do
about it, smartheads. Just
Don't
do it.
think, just do.
Just do it.
Exactly.
In the name of a guy called Buff of the Shilas, just do it.
You guys once again see Vannon apply the ointment to the tip of the wand, press the wand against the side of the hourglass. You'll see him once again looks over all of you as if he is quickly moving through time at breakneck speed before eventually pulling the wand away and seems to return back to normal speed once again.
So the wand touching it basically stops time or pauses time. And the ointment, you need to use it somehow. What was the phrase that said on the in the book?
Was it's mixture of quicksilver and time to deter werewolves. The third word is key in that place. As for like what the
The actual
parchment says,
phrasing on the book itself is patience is key for those that wish to create a deterrent for those of the moon.
Oh crap!
do we have to wait till night?
That or I have to sit there for a long time, which is even longer.
How long are we
Patience.
talking?
I'm not sure because time goes a lot slower.
Well, you looked like you were moving really fast for us.
Or yours is going very, very slow.
Well, yes, and both technically time can travel in both directions, so it could be either way.
But so if I sit there and touch it, time slows down. So that basically gives us time. So patience is the thing, which means I had to sit there and hold the wand to it for I'm guessing a large amount of time, and time goes a lot faster, so it's going to be probably a long time. I just don't know what to do with the ointment.
Hmm.
Daisy, you can continue where you were speaking before in regards to parchment and the book. Because you were mentioning stuff about that before.
Yeah, because like the parchment did say, "From dawn there shall be union, from death there shall be murder." But I don't know how that fits to the freaking find the key to the cell protocol 6413. So
Harry's just going to step over for a moment. Uh, Daisy,
mm.
wasn't there something about like putting something into something? I know there was
Yes.
something that we had to put into.
Well, yeah, in theory, you would insert the key into a lock. And I don't know if the hourglass is the lock or not, and if we have to somehow place the ointment or something.
Want to slather that hourglass in ointment?
No, there's
Does the ointment and the hourglass stuff in there look the same?
more than likely
Is there
not.
is there a door on the hourglass at the top of it or something like that?
Yeah, is there like a little like hole or something?
Uh, looking over on the top and bottom ends of the hourglass, you do not see any compartments. It looks like very detailed, uh, relatively flat though.
How thick is this ointment? Is it like drips or is it
Pretty
like a
viscous,
cream?
kind of like a cream.
You try rub some of that ointment on your hand, then pick up the hourglass.
I mean, I don't think that's like putting the key into something.
Oh, okay. Vrek is going to go ahead and take some of the ointment, put it on his hands, since that's what
Nice.
he's about to do it.
Hell yeah, Brett.
Yeah, sure.
True.
Okay. Vrek is going to go ahead and put some of the ointment onto his hands, and is going to look over at Vannon, and just like give a like, if this goes wrong, try and do something. I don't know exactly what to do. Try and
I'll try.
remove. Yes, Daisy, try and remove me from the hourglass. Let's see. He'll step forwards, retrieve the hourglass with his two smaller hands, lifts it up, and you will wait for there to be a sudden change and warp, yet nothing happens.
Is he actually just holding it?
He's just holding it, and he's just like
Okay.
like
Go.
straining, like tenses up as if like something's about to happen.
And now Bannon will take the wand and touch it as he's holding it.
Okay. And you touch the side of the wand. Vannon, a moment of your time.
Oh Lord.
And technically, Vrek, a moment of your time.
Oh my
Really? So it
god.
happened to him too? I was thinking the ointment would like let you safely interact with the hourglass or something.
So, Vannon and Vrek, you're holding on to the hourglass with your two smaller hands, uh, doing your best to hold what seems to be a reasonably weighty hourglass within your grasp. The ointment itself seems to allow you to carry the hourglass without any particular issues of it turning or uh, off kiltering and off balancing the hourglass itself that you had seen the mage hands do before. And it does not seem to fully affect you, as Daisy had experienced before after touching it, except until Vannon touches the wand against the side, and both of you suddenly see the sudden sensation of everything slowing down, the world around you suddenly pulsating with that sudden force of slowing everything down. You'll see Daisy freezing in place, some of the others that seem to be approaching and watching slowing down into place, until eventually you'll see each other looking over at both of you holding the hourglass in hand.
Patience is key. So I'll hold it.
10 seconds have passed.
I'll hold a good point of time. I'll tell Verk this. We're gonna hold it. Key is patience.
15
patience.
seconds have passed. Twenty seconds have passed. Vrek and Vannon. Passive perceptions. I think Vrek's is 10. Vannon
like
is
20.
20.
Perception 20.
Yeah, passive perception is 20. You'll need to change
Yep.
that on your roll 20.
Nope.
20. Good to know. Vannon, as you reach the 20-second mark, you'll see the first mirror and then the second mirror inside of the hourglass turn dark. And the inside of the hourglass, you'll see some of the inside sand beginning to swirl and beginning to enter and spiral into the center of the hourglass, starting to make its way into the other chamber. Vrek, you do not see this.
Just hold it, Vrek.
Vannon, as it hits the 25th second, you will see everyone beginning to fade away, and you'll start to see yourself and Vrek beginning to be pulled into a purplish like light, as you'll see the third and fourth mirror go dark inside of the hourglass.
Okay. Now I pull back the wand.
Now you'll pull back the wand?
Yep.
Okay. I need both of you to roll me 2 intelligence saving throws, please. Each.
That's my key.
Okay. I guess I'm rolling for you, Freck. Okay. So, first of all,
I don't know if I should even pull it out. I'm just thinking if I should do it or not.
okay.
All right, I was going to, so it's fine.
Yep. Okay. Vrek, you take 33 points of psychic damage. Vannon, you take half of that, so you take 16. As both of you are suddenly ripped back within the last few seconds as time rewinds back. You feel your bodies and your minds suddenly being ripped apart from the sudden suction of the device itself, and you feel like a slight essence of your mind and your reality of form being suctioned into the hourglass until you're suddenly pulled back by the wand. Vrek, I am sending you something. Vannon, you were able to resist. And I am sending both of you back.
What was that?
What was that?
All right.
As you guys are watching, you'll see as Vrek is holding the hourglass in his 2 smaller hands, you'll see Vannon pressing the wand into the side of the hourglass, as suddenly you'll see for a moment as they will hold in
All right.
place, and then suddenly it seems like their bodies shift and shake as if their bodies are twisted and warped into unknown angles, as if the sudden suction of some form of force inside of the hourglass seems to try and pull them into the hourglass itself before they are ripped pouring out as a psychic scream ripples out into the air until you're hearing nothing but Rex uh, transmitted voice echoing out to all of you. As you'll see both pairs of hands grasping onto his head, and the hourglass slams down onto the table.
Rex's voice, are you screaming?
All right. I think I
Rex
might.
is psychically, telepathically screaming for a couple of
Okay.
seconds as all four of his hands are grasping onto his head.
I think we all need to touch this when I do this, because if we go, I don't think it would just be whoever is touching it will go.
Do we need to have the salve on our hands?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Professor will salve up. Wait for everyone else.
Sorry, what did I miss?
Something crazy happened.
You saw Vannon place the wand into the side of the hourglass as Vrek was holding it, causing it to activate throughout what seemed to be around about 5 seconds, which when Vannon went in, he only went in for maybe 2 or 3 seconds. You saw their bodies suddenly warp as if some unknown magical force twisted their bodies out of form and curved them out of shape, and were suddenly being sucked into the hourglass itself before you saw them being pulled back and your head was filled with a telepathic scream of wreck.
Okay then.
All right. So I think we
Um,
all have to be
We
touching
all
it
need,
with.
we all need to grab it.
so, at this moment in time, I'm going to go ahead and send Vrek the situation right now.
Hey, Vannon, do you have bless right now?
I do. I would always prepared because I don't. There's a whole lot of clerics that find useful, but
Yeah, because I was thinking before we all grab it, we put bless on this whole party. Like I can do 4, you can do 3. That way you have a little bit more chance of
yeah,
getting
but
free.
yeah, yeah, it might not be a bad.
I cannot hear you if you're saying something. All right. Is there anything else anyone wishes to do in preparation?
Okay, I'm right before we grab. I'm casting second level bless. Harry,
Okay.
myself, Dune, and Jonathan. And then I'll
Okay.
leave Vannon to do Vannon, Vrek, and Professor.
Okay.
Yep, I'll do the same for those three. For me,
All
and
right.
then
Yeah, he
Gotcha.
gets to use the first level. I'll use my second level.
All right.
That
Plus again,
+5.
It's a 1d4 to your saving throws. And
Oh
attack.
yeah. I was thinking. Okay. Yeah, that hurt.
Does Rec look just like he's just took damage somehow? Looks pretty worse for wear.
You
I
can
have
see that
ichor coming out of my ear.
Oh Jesus!
you can see that all four hands are currently grasping onto his head. And Jonathan, this is actually the first time that you've actually seen under the disguise of what you previously thought to be a dwarf. Now seems to be a four-armed insectile-like creature.
What manner of creature is this? T.
He's a
Is this
thrycreen.
common over here?
Yes, they are common
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah, they're
Thrycreen
pretty
You
Well,
are
hear
very
in your
common.
head, Thrycreen, live underground. We don't have. Hopefully, I can't deal with this right now. My head hurts.
Should we not attend a Rec maybe before we grab this again quick?
How,
here?
Breck, how hard does your head throb right now?
Let's see. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say I'm wounded.
Right.
Like,
He's got a 5-level headache.
it's like like a 7. It's a 5. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Like
Pretty bad.
like all four of my arms were clutching my head. It dropped to my knees. My disguise disappeared. Like, it was bad. And yeah, you heard psychically somebody screaming in your head in pain
Yeah,
for
we did hear that, too.
seconds.
Just in case, then.
How many?
I heal you for 13.
Nice. How many tinkerings did you use, Rob? How many +5s?
How many tinkers? Just one.
Okay. Sorry, Flash of Genius, not tinkers.
Might as well. After that, Daisy heals him. Is he? Rec, are you still a little banged up? Or are you doing a lot better?
Better, but I'll go ahead and get one of my little bots out, and bottom compartment opens up, and a little pack comes out, and it shows emergency medical stuff. I'll start healing myself. I'll cast my cure wounds myself.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say we've got a lot, an excess of. We have 8 greater healing potions. Why did?
But save those for an actual fight.
Someone put. It says we have 8 healing potions and then 6 regular healing potions.
Where?
Did someone add? Because we just got a bunch of healing potions, right? Did someone add those recently?
I mean, we got 6.
I have 2 normal. I think they were distributed.
No, no. I think we still have.
Because I have 2 normal healings and 1 greater on me.
I don't know, there's at one point we had like 12
Okay.
regular, like normal healing potions, and we got another small clutch. I'm guessing they're both supposed to be.
That's correct, because I think somebody just added them separately and didn't see that there's a regular healing potion.
Okay, all right, that's what I'm thinking too.
Because I did put a lot of healing potions in there, but I don't remember if I put them under healing potion or regular healing potion.
Yeah, well, you put them under regular healing potion.
Probably. That was probably.
Right. I'll edit that quick. I'll combine
we
them.
have 14 regulars, 8 graders, and 1 superior. Like, we have a lot of potions that we should.
Yeah, if you wanted to
fight.
Well, we're all pretty potion light. I'm just saying if you want to save the slot, Rick, just chug a greater healing potion because we have plenty of them. You want to save resources.
Can I retcon DM?
Sure.
Pull back. All right, so we'll take 6 points of damage. I'll get my spell slot back. Greater's 44 plus 4, right?
Off the top of my head, I have no idea.
44 plus 4.
All right. And then plus 4 is 14. So I can use the one I have unless you want me to remove one. Remove the one I have unless you want to remove one from the bag.
Just take it out of the bag of holding. Keep the one you have on you.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and remove it.
Does everyone have a little clutch of healing potions on them? Does anyone need
Yeah, I
any
have
while we're
4
here?
on me. I will take 1 greater though.
All right,
I
I
have
have
I'll
1
one
greater on me
greater
as
and
well.
2 normal.
all right, I'll take another greater off. Jonathan, didn't we give you a couple healing potions last session? How you sitting?
believe so.
Or
I'll
you and
double
Amp?
check. I just happened to sit down at the perfect time.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah.
I have 2 regular, 2 greater.
Okay. So we should be pretty good. Yes, I have 1 right. I'll grab another regular just so I have 2 healing potions. Is Scroll of Alter Self, is that basically the disguise spell?
Yes, it
Whatever.
is.
Okay.
Alter Self is a little bit different. It's more like Dune.
You can
Okay.
alter your form, so you can add gills, or you
Yeah.
can add like a tail to yourself.
It
Okay.
can be something feasibly that your race can do, but you can add on to a couple things.
You need a potion. Hilarious.
Are you trying to say, do you see what it takes for them to mimic even a fraction of your power?
Exactly.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll get back up. Yes, Justin, if you have an issue with my race, we can discuss that later. Or you can leave. I was here first.
Jonathan.
Whatever.
But no, I've not seen any intelligent creature of anywhere near your kind where I come from. It was a bit startling to see it appear.
Honestly, I haven't seen an intelligent creature like my kind where I'm from either, so. Shall we?
He's quite liberated.
He's 1 in a million.
I'm not. I'm just here. So. Yeah, the what was it, the mirrors or whatever, they went dark. Took a long time to do it, but I believe Vannon's right. We all need to do it.
I mean, are you gonna get that? Is that same thing gonna happen to you?
No, it only happened because Vannon pulled away without letting me know.
Oh, okay. That's right. That's right.
And I was not mentally prepared.
Everyone's ointment up, and let's all grab a hold of this sucker.
Yeah. I put my
Then
hand on
the
it.
blessings go up, and then we grab.
Rob, you're supposed to cheat. You rolled a 13. I have a +9. You dingus. Jeez.
Okay, one second.
Everyone touching, Van will touch the wand to it again.
Yeah, we
Okay.
all rub up our sunscreen.
Everyone gets a little bit of ointment. Everyone reaches out, touches the hourglass, and Vannon places the wand into the side of the hourglass. You all begin to feel a sudden pulling sensation as all of you will watch as the first 2 mirrors suddenly go dark after the first 10 seconds. After the next 10 seconds, at the 20-second mark, you will see the 3rd and 4th mirrors going dark. And as the purple light beginning to eclipse your vision, and suddenly all of you are pulled in, the world around you beginning to be twisted, and you're all suctioned in. We will go ahead and take a quick minute to have a small break. If you're wanting, go ahead and take a quick 5 to 10 minutes. And we will get into this in a moment. We will go ahead and call it and say, let's say on the 30-minute mark, 25 to 30 minutes.
Sure.
If everyone here by the 25, then we'll continue by 25.
All right.
See you in a moment.
You. Frickin' vanning, man.
I gave them the idea to touch it with the wand, okay?
Honestly, if I was here, Rec would have done that. Like, he's a tinkerer. He's gonna tinker with stuff. Which, yeah, you say magical hourglass, Rec's like, ooh, what? Shiny. I love the scale on this map. The books are 5 feet long. What is this? A library for giants?
I don't know, man. Seems pretty good to me. I can hold him just fine.
We're gonna need to build it at least half this size. So I've been getting bits and pieces due to my recent absences because these months are rough, but we're making something to cure lycanthropy.
Anything that's good against werewolves may be handy going forward.
Yeah, no, I know we created an entire freaking terrorist cell of werewolves.
Yes, that's right. We did that together. That's correct.
Yes, we as the royal
Well, is it
we.
all?
Yeah.
I don't know. Jonathan just coming in. There's hearing a lot of professor in that talk. Not a lot of wheeze.
All right, I want to take a vote. What is more cliche for a bad guy? A barren desert or uninhabitable swamp?
Like for a layer.
Swamp,
Like
definitely.
a hideout or something?
Yeah, like where they dwell, where they do their nefarious stuff.
The swamp, absolutely.
Swamp.
Which is more or less
More cliche.
of the swamp, then, yeah.
Like the most cliche is obviously like volcano hideout, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Underground or
Bottom of
the
the
lava.
ocean is popular too.
Because like desert, I only think Ganon, but swamp, I think you have the Hag, you have witches, you have Lex Luthor and the Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
Arctic too. Arctic is pretty played out.
Yeah, Arctic can go either way.
Plains,
Like with
forest, cabbages.
Arthas.
See, I can say things too.
No, but like there's been what was it, Goldeneye? The evil guy at a base.
Yeah, the Antarctic
in
base.
the Arctic. And then
Yeah,
I
well,
think of
Superman's
but
Fortress of Solitude's in the Arctic.
yeah, no, that's true. It's just like someplace
It's
extremely barren and cold, like
it's just
the Lich King.
Okay,
right.
so the Lich King only went to Northrend because that's where one his dragon was, and two, the portal, the place between the worlds, are the weakest. So
Sure.
It's just ice and Arctic. There's serenity in it, and it can be crystalline focus as a
Solitude. Yeah.
like it's just a metaphor for the person.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's why I think Arctics can go either way. Whereas underground lava volcano or underground lava or lava volcano is pretty.
okay, but in the argument for the Arctic, you can have a frozen desert. So in that case,
Yeah. It is a desert, technically,
a
isn't it?
desert.
What's classified as?
Yeah, it
Tundra,
is
yeah.
literally a desert. So
Tundra has like some vegetation, correct, or something? There's a difference between tundra and the Arctic desert.
yeah, no,
Arctic desert has no
swamp just
animals.
says like it's just nasty, evil. Like don't go there.
Yes, yeah, swamp's at the top of the list for sure.
Desert's just like ooh, mysterious sand people or global domination. You don't know.
Giant worms, maybe.
Giant worms. Yeah. Weird bony hands with books and doors. Yeah, what harm ever came from reading a book?
All I get from Sand is all female society of thieves. So
With an annoying training
That's
ground.
very Garuda of you.
well, I did specifically call out Ganon a moment ago.
I just got back. So that's why I'm like, that's very
Ah.
Garuda of you.
Yes.
I have no clue what you guys are talking about.
Okay, Dan.
What's more cliche? Continue.
Yeah, what's more
I got
cliche
you.
for a bad guy's like lair, hideout, nefarious location? A desert, an uninhabitable, or desert, a barren desert, or an an uninhabitable swamp.
The swamp.
Yeah.
Like you see a swamp, but you're like, oh, there's some shit going on in here. I don't know what it is, but there's some shit going on here.
Yeah, and I said, or in desert, it could be, weird sand people, or what did I say? A coming world dominant. I don't remember what I even said, but and then somebody said giant worm, and then I said or bony hands with books and doors.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I swear, it sounds like you have the Blue Yeti mic.
You've mentioned that before because I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does, yeah.
Because
I
I
think
know.
you've been down this road like twice before now, I think.
I know the indistinguishable sound of unmuting from the mic because I've had that mic. It makes a very distinct click over audio. Yeah, I forget what I say sometimes.
Really? You've had that mic? Hold on.
Yeah, I gave it to him.
There's a distinct.
When you unmute.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there it is. There's a distinct click.
It's actually you're like hitting the base of the.
I have.
Well,
I
you
have
are.
His old.
Because
Blue Yeti.
yeah, there's a button on the base that mutes and unmutes, and because it's a cardioid mic, it picks it up. But it's a very very distinct click. It has its own
That's why I
sound.
use Discord.
Yeah, the Discord mute, so you don't have to hear the thunk.
Yeah, so you don't hear that click every time. Because
I mean, shit, whenever. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, when I would be streaming, I would mute it, and everybody would know.
You know, the headset mic I was always using. You know, when you hit the freaking thing, you could definitely hear it over freaking Discord. And now you don't even know.
You know what, Rob? I'll probably say it again in a couple months when I hear it.
More than likely.
So.
Like,
Does mine make a noise when I unmute? Is it like a noticeable noise?
No.
Do you have a Blue Yeti?
No, I have some kind of razor. I think it's a
Razor's pretty good because theirs is a touch one, right?
It's a button. It's a dongle between like my headset hooks up to the dongle and the dongle hooks up to the computer.
yeah,
And it's got volume controls, like mic settings and
yeah, the dongle it doesn't really pick up. The mute on the Yeti's on the base of the actual microphone. And it's like it's a standing microphone. So
yeah.
Yeah, and the one I'm talking about is like the Kraken headset, where you literally have to like click the microphone, and you hear the click every time you do it.
Oh yeah, my mic has that option too on the mic as well. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, since the Kraken 7.1, well 7.2s don't actually have that dongle, so you can't mute it from there. You always have to like touch the microphone, so you would always hear like the
yeah.
No,
I thought this one had it. It doesn't though, but I had a razor before this too, and it had it. I thought this one had it too. That's like I don't know why you design mic mute and like exactly like that. Like it seems like better just put like a button on the side of that ear cup or something.
I don't know, dude. Sometimes people think, oh, it's ease of access, man. Like, yeah, just touch it next to your mouth and you're done. But no, it's like you know, I never noticed it actually did a noise until like a year ago when I was like, wait, I'm hearing a thing every time I like start talking and then end talking when I watch Park stream. I'm like, oh, it's the freaking microphone.
Yeah.
All right.
Come back.
You from outer space.
I don't know if Dammy is here. I did
He
hear
is.
him earlier. Okay. Excellent. In that case, as you guys feel the winding sensation being suctioned into the hourglass, Vrek, you'll feel the sensation of holding the hourglass slowly diminish away until you're feeling nothing, as all of you feel a sudden jolting sensation as you'll see a sudden sea of swirling purple, blue, and almost a crackling of yellow essence swirling and floating around a rotating purplish like platform. Daisy, you'll look behind you for a moment and see what seems to be a single 15-foot tall mirror directly behind you, just in time for it to crack and break down the center.
Oh dear lord.
I need stealth checks, please.
Not happening, bro.
So it is this place. Son of a god, I knew it. Ah, God, I knew it. Son of a bitch.
As you see, standing in front of you, a number of familiar, dark armored looking guards
Oh god, no.
surrounding the area that seem to be patrolling and patiently waiting, as well as two hooded members of the Zentarum mages that you see currently surrounding what seems to be a large reddish like orb in the center of the platform itself. Currently writhing and rotating within the fiery like orb, you can see what seems to be a large figure of twisted metal and armor holding a large blade in his hands as he roars out in pain into the air, trying to swing out and immediately being repelled back against the barrier. You can also see what seems to be a writhing tentacle like creature towards the south that seems to be dormantly watching over its claws as if it is kind of just waiting for something to happen.
Forget that +2. I forgot blast, not guidance.
Mhm. Daisy,
Does the oh god.
I just want to say I did tell everyone about this beforehand. So
Yeah, you did.
Yep.
You
I
told
hope
me.
you're not like surprised.
you will
told me again,
see
though.
that there are indeed a number of mirrors around the area, all of which seem to have cracks in the center of them, except for one where two of the guards are currently standing, seemingly having a conversation quietly.
Do the mages
Um,
appear to be? Are they? Do they seem to be the ones holding that barrier up or interacting with it in
You
some
do
way?
see that they are continuously, every now and then, sending jolts of some red and yellowish like energy into the barrier.
Okay.
What's past this? Is there a barrier holding it together, or is there just like nothing?
No, it is just a drop into the large sea of abyss down below.
I
Um,
will flash of genius Jonathan for 5.
Go ahead and if you are proficient in nature, go ahead and roll me a nature check.
I mean, sorry, I wasn't. We didn't. Do I need to make a stealth?
Nature.
Do I need to make a stealth check?
Yes, we have.
Yes, you do
Sorry, I
need to
missed
make a
that.
stealth check.
I missed
We are
that.
all nature affinity.
Vrek, Vannon, Jonathan, you would immediately recognize that directly underneath you is a place known as the Astral Sea.
We're dead.
Oh
Okay,
shit.
hold on.
We made it. We win.
Hold on. What is my knowledge of the astral sea?
Bad place.
No,
Very,
no, no,
very
no.
bad.
So, okay. No, okay, so does Vrek know of the properties of the astral sea?
Yes,
So, I know how
you,
things work here.
Bannon, and Jonathan would know exactly what the astral sea is and the properties of therefore what could happen here.
Okay, so this is a little bit meta above board now. How do you do
Also,
the astral sea?
well, you have to figure that out as you see this mirror in front of you crack and break.
But you said I know the properties of the astral sea,
Yes.
so I would know how to work it.
Okay, you would know that essentially you need a tether back to the material plane.
Mm-hmm.
You would know that usually there is some form of way to figure out where your tether is.
Mm-hmm.
The main concern at the moment is that usually, whenever you enter the place, your tether is usually the place that you came through. And you're looking now at the mirror that you just came through that now has a giant crack in the middle.
We can buff that right out.
Okay, so again, sorry, but the reason I bring it up is some people do. So astral sea, some people have movement is changed by intelligence. The higher the
No.
intelligence, you might be able to create things because the astral sea is just this infinite sea of possibility. So,
There is a definite chance of possibility that
Mhm.
you could maybe conjure something.
Okay.
It's the chance of possibly calling on to something else.
Okay. But it's definitely you're a small goldfish in a sea of krakens from Subnautica.
Looking down, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
You seem to be in a platform that's high above where you would believe the more dangerous aspects of this plane are. It seems like you're either like on the outskirts or like just barely on the outside of the plane itself.
Okay. Definitely going to mentally convey to everybody about that our way through just broke.
Perfect. That's excellent.
There is one thing of mental note as well. Daisy, as you're looking around
Yeah.
and keeping a very close eye, you do see a familiar like shape resting maybe 80 feet above this throne, which is the same.
Which one?
North.
You see Northern Throne over here.
Oh, what shape?
It is the same translucent like figure that you saw during the vision. However, the shape itself is familiar and not in a good way.
Is it Illidan Stormrage?
Can I? Can
Sorry.
I tell what the figure is?
I will send you the image of the familiar like thing. It has been a while.
Why am I just imagining? I know exactly what this figure is, and I'm about to lose my mind when you send it.
However, you have a feeling that at this moment in time, it is merely observing and it is not noticed your presence. One moment as I calculate the stealth as well.
Add 5. I threw
Roger.
5 onto Jonathan's.
There
And
you go,
ignore
Daisy.
the D4s.
Okay.
Rob, I fucking know it. I know exactly the moment you said it's familiar was gonna be that.
And Professor Stealth is at the bottom underneath the nature checks in case you missed it.
Very
Okay.
last thing in the chat.
So,
Did my best.
using the earrings, I would say the Grandmaster is watching.
Rob, do we have a couple seconds right now? Like they don't notice us.
They do
I-
not seem to have noticed you at the moment.
So
no.
do I have like a few moments to do something quickly?
I need to roll Harry's real quick.
Oh, yeah, I kind of want to do the same.
Da. 13 for Harry.
Come on, Harry.
I have disadvantage and I still roll better. Come on.
I know, what is this? But if I have a second, I want to dip one of my bolts in just the black poison, not the super potent black poison.
Okay.
I don't know if
The poison that I hit Dune with that one time he
Yeah.
was raging.
Gotcha.
Did you add 5 to
Might not.
Jonathan's?
I did not. Give me a moment.
Yeah.
Which one was Jonathan's?
3.
The 3? Okay.
So 91 turns to a 96. 96 divided by 7.
96
Maybe
divided by
that'll give us
7.
a hook.
Oh, wrong one.
Might get us up to 14. We're lucky.
I'll give you the
Eh.
14. I'll give you the 14. Let's see.
Nice.
So who sees? Hmm.
I don't think he's eating yummy crab dip.
Mm-hmm.
Or the lagoons.
Okay. You guys will see Daisy in particular. The figure above the throne seems to shift slightly in your direction as you guys appear through the mirror. You'll also see this figure seems to take a moment, sniff the air, and you'll see the tendrils rising up as if to be partially alert.
Using the earrings, I'll say, if we want the edge of surprise, do something now.
It would also be Vannon, Jonathan, and Daisy that would see the figure inside of the orb turn its head over towards all of you and stop trying to resist against the orb. Just float there for a moment.
I mean, we gotta let that thing out, right?
So
Yes.
If you have the element of surprise, do we just want to jump them now? Because we're not talking our way out of
Yes.
this.
Oh, it's a go time. Like
Yeah,
I'm doing something in the next 3 seconds.
Yeah, Rob, if I can act, I'm gonna shoot that poison bolt at this mage right here.
Okay, so let's roll some initiative.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not waiting. I know.
could I
as a
have
Grandmaster,
gotten one
I'm
of
doing it.
my arcane cannons out before?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Can I get out? Let's do the protector. Let's bring out blue.
Okay. Are you able to get it out yourself?
I don't think so, but let me double check.
Hey, look, it's Dammy numbers.
I was gonna say it doesn't matter what character I play. I'm at the
No, I
bottom of
don't
turn
have
order.
access to my
There we go.
turrets.
There you
Could I
go.
have popped
should have
my shift before we
can't.
started, or would I have been till now?
I can't
There we
mess with
go,
that token
smaller.
yet.
Oh, you can't mess with that token?
No.
Okay. Rick. The drone. Well, let's see. Let's just do that. There we go. There you go. You should have
Thank
access to
you.
it now.
Also, reminder: everyone has blessed as of this current moment.
Where's blue? There's
We can put
blue.
plus on initiative, can't we? Or no? No, it doesn't work like
No,
that. does it?
it's saving throws and to attack.
Saves,
Yeah, saving throws.
Let's see. Who are we missing? Rick.
Me, sorry.
Also, you said
Very
how many
nice.
seconds passed since we entered the hourglass?
6
Oh.
seconds at this point.
Okay, so that would mean it would be the second turn of this.
Then
Could I have
change you
shifted before
to
this start, or would I have to
attack.
wait till this starts?
Harry's fucking ready.
Dude, I'm the one who rolled mid initiative with advantage, bro. It's wild.
Hey, Rob.
Boo.
Dune
Is
has a
that
question, Rob.
everyone? Yes, Dune.
Would I have been
Sorry.
able to pop a shift before this, or would I have just wait till now?
I would say that you would probably have prepared for some form of combat. So yes, I would have allowed you to
Okay.
get a shift in.
Thank you. Let me get my mix. 8 hit points.
So I will say that some of these people are not surprised. However, some of them are.
Please tell
So
me
we will
that.
get some of them into initiative. Others we will not, and they will have a surprise round against them.
I am throwing Blue Bug onto Dune's shoulder when it appears.
Gotcha.
Van and I have Ozzy in my pocket still, right?
Yes.
Going into this? Okay.
How tall are the mirrors? You said 15.
15-foot tall mirrors, yes. Which are still intact, still within the frame.
Just cracked.
However, there's just a large crack directly down the center. Yes.
Right. Okay.
Uh,
How tall's the throne?
The throne itself, each of them seem to be around about 20-foot tall in the back. However, the front themselves seem to be around about 10-foot tall, with the armrests sitting around 12.
Okay.
They seem to be suited for creatures of large or maybe even larger size. Let's see. Do we have any more? Not at the moment.
Was the master
get there.
fire resistant? I don't think so.
I
Been a
remember
while.
you. In the form,
So-
I mean, he changes forms, right? Like we don't.
Yeah.
He might be in this one.
Top of the initiative. Dune, it is your turn.
Okay. When I'd seen that combat's coming up, Doom was like, finally. And as he begins to rage, instead of fire coming from his axe, you'll notice that it's boiling blood dripping from it. And in an explosion of blood and fur, you'll see Dune explode, kind of. And instead of just straight fire covering him, it's like an aura of blood that's accentuating features of claws and teeth and a long tail with ears. And along with that bloody aura is like bloody steamed fires coming from his body, and his eyes are completely red, and his jaws are now more unhinged and wider than they were before. And he's just drooling at the mouth, and he extends and he explodes and goes this way. So start from here again. That'll be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60 feet.
Turn right, Professor. Does he have rabies? Do we need to put him down?
Honestly, I.
What is that?
It's his pact.
Just yeah, let him do his thing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, can I-
60, let's see.
Mess him up.
You're right, her tentacle man.
5, 10. I use my rest of my action to get next to him.
Right next to the tentacle-like figure, which you have seen before, on top of a ship.
I have killed one before myself
Yeah.
too.
Turns, immediately screeches out into the air as you do see 4 brandishing like marks around his belt, igniting into flame. As you do see the tethers immediately wrapping out, and you see what seems to be 4 figures immediately forming into place around you. However, you are able to make your first attacks.
I'll use my action to dash where I could. I only move 60 foot,
That's
so I'm gonna
right.
dash through here.
Sadly, that's true.
But you know what? Just because I need to get the first hit in on this thing, I'm just going to action surge and just get some
Okay.
hits in.
Got
I'm
it.
just missing
Yeah,
this guy.
all right. Pulling out the stops.
Oh yeah,
Right off the bat. Here we go.
I'm going berserk here. Okay,
And you can
so,
add that D4 now. Since
Yeah.
It's an attack.
Yep.
First attack.
Natural
Actually,
20.
14.
Glorious.
Wow.
Do I get a paw mark if my machine is on next to him? No, I'm just kidding.
Sadly, no.
I think you have a.
Ouch.
You got a couple,
Okay.
right? You got at least 2 going into this.
Oh,
We rolled
I wasn't
going
gonna say it, but I'm at 4,
Oh, yeah. Oh shit.
so I
okay.
can force a
can get a
reroll.
reroll.
Yeah,
You can force a reroll.
Yep. Which I'm saving.
This is the one hand.
Yes,
I
it's
got
the
an
one.
I know that's the one that gave me 4,
So that's
14.
or that gave me my 4th.
16 points of slashing damage
16,
plus
okay.
double that, so that's 18 points of fire damage
Okay.
for the first hit.
Slashing out, hitting and striking against them, brandishing that flame. Go ahead and reroll 2d8.
Okay.
Okay, so another 16. Fire damage does seem to go through,
Interesting.
as it did before.
Second attack.
Second attack with your action surge. 17 will hit.
Okay, so
Nice.
that'll be 12 points of slashing damage and
Nice.
12 points of fire damage.
12 points of fire damage. Phew. Immediately charging forward, frothing at the mouth as you blast into flames, significant cackling beginning to build in the back of your head as your fury charges forward and slams the axe into the creature's side. An immediate gash of black and reddish blood pouring from the side as the creature screeches out as the conjured creatures beginning to spawn around you, beginning to swarm around your location.
I would also say there is a second voice behind Dune's voice. It's the deeper cackling as I scream, "We're hungry."
Go eat.
And then that'll be
Eat
my
them
turn.
all.
Excellent. What was that, Professor?
So go eat. Eat them all. Hungry. Plenty of food.
The chain guard are surprised. They did not notice you. Harry is going to see that Dune is enjoying his feast and is going to learn from previous actions not to steal the kill. So is going to go
Yep.
ahead and focus down on the
Oh, yeah.
mages that seem to be the major importance right now. He does not like those mages.
No,
So
no
he's
one likes
going
me.
to immediately take Olive Branch out and fire. Is going to, let's see, can I steady aim? Yeah, I can probably steady aim this. I'm not moving.
The mage is not surprised.
Mage are surprised actually. Yes.
The
Let's
automatic
see.
advantage.
That's automatically advantage. So he's actually gonna go over here, get some cover behind the throne, then fire. Kneeling down behind the throne, fires with Olive Branch. Natural 20.
Hey, wow. Okay.
29 points of damage on the first shot.
Damn, he didn't even sharpshoot
Ouch.
it.
That's he's got to double that though, right? For the crit.
He did.
Or is it crit?
He
Oh,
already
is it?
rolled it twice, so that was a
Oh,
9.
okay.
So
Okay.
29 for that one.
Double damage.
Pulls back, bolts, fires again because he
Probably
doesn't like the fact that this
Harry
guy's
would,
still standing.
Harry would sharpshooter it for sure, right? If he has advantage. Would you
Fuck it,
drop the
yeah, why
sharpshooter
not?
down?
Sharpshooter as
Yeah.
well.
Pull up the stops.
Let's see.
Sorry,
Doesn't he
that's
get
my
advantage
mouth.
though because of
He
his
does have
surprise?
advantage. He does have advantage.
Advantage.
That's right. One more.
Damn.
19. Okay,
He still has
so
bless.
15
Bless.
plus
The
bless 4.
Plus steady aim.
So 9. He already has advantage. Let's
Didn't that
see.
add a +3 or something like that?
Oh, that's right. He has a +2. Let's see. Yeah, that will immediately take out that mage as you see the
Perfect, Harry.
barrier around the individual in the center beginning to diminish. You'll hear this mage shouting into the air, "No, you fools! It's not even prepared! You'll kill us all!" Professor, it is your turn.
Okay. From where I'm positioned, can I even get a line of like a shot on this guy right here?
The barrier around does seem to hit the ground, so you would have to move around
Okay.
to get an angle of sight.
I'm just kind of looking. Like it looks like if I was down by Harry, I could just barely see the bottom corner of this guy's square, or would that still be obstructed, do you think?
Uh, it would be partial cover. But I
Partial
believe you
cover.
ignore partial cover.
Yeah, I do. Okay, perfect. Let's do 20, 25, 30, kind of like peeking out from behind Harry. I'll take a shot at this guy.
Okay.
Actions. Let's just go. Yeah, okay. We will boom. Manage. Let's see what happens. Damn, I should have overcharged, but 28. I'm assuming that hits.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Okay, so that is that, and then boom. Eh. So we have 15, 19, 24 points of magical piercing
24.
damage. And he just got hit with that poison bolt too. The black
Okay.
poison.
The black poison. Okay.
Yeah. Not the super
Um,
potent, but like I said,
are
the
we
stuff I hit Dune
talking
with.
the drow poison?
Whatever, is that what I hit Dune with when he was going berserk? Whatever that poison was?
Oh,
I
you're
don't know.
using that one. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the night one. Okay. He needs to make a constitution save.
Father, he's gonna fail.
Fails.
Yes.
So the mage does fall to the ground. Seems to be currently for the count, and the barrier does go down.
Perfect. So he's essentially unconscious or something of that nature, right? Like he can't operate, whatever that poison did.
As this large behemoth of armor, shadowy like essence beginning to drip from him, lands onto the platform. There is a sudden chilling, screeching essence of multiple sounds echoing out into the air as if multiple voices seemingly filling into the space as he will look around for a moment and you see a pair of purplish eyes glowing within the helmet itself,
Well,
Can I
slowly
say
turning to a
something?
dark red.
as
Yes.
I hit, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say as he lands in Primordial, I would say, what's his name again? Where is it? Oh, yeah, Jazir. If you're indeed an ally, help us rescue the third princess. She does not deserve to suffer.
There is silence as he brings out the giant blade and pulls it into a aggressive stance, only for him to swing it around and draw it directly down into the unconscious mage behind him, severing him in
Sorry.
two.
Oh.
And then I'm going to, of course, use Harry and this giant throne as cover and meld into shadow.
Okay. As Daisy, you see him draw the blade back. You'll see a number of these guards immediately turning their attention to not only him, but also the group that are now attacking, as you'll see the large figure of supposedly Jazir looks over towards you, but you feel like there is no form of friendliness within the eyes.
That's a shame. I mean, he's closer to them than he is to us, I guess.
That is the end of the professor's turn.
Yeah, that's my
Vannon,
turn.
it is your turn.
How far can this shoot? 120 feet. Okay. Sure. Perfect. Am I the move?
Perfect. I love that. I love that word.
Can I see him here? The big guy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. I will use magic missile at level 7.
Okay.
Nice.
The 9 charges.
My God.
All right.
Level 7.
Sending your wand forwards of magic missiles, sending a spray of the missiles directly towards the tentacle-like creature. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Do
Some
you
up.
want me to roll 9 of them or one and use it 9 times?
9. One of them. So just 9d4 plus 9.
Alright. Focus. Big. A lot of force.
That's a lot of force damage.
Yeah. Good roll. Honestly, 1-1.
High threes,
four
only one.
threes.
Yeah, actually, that was all great except the one.
Yeah.
Whew.
Pretty good, actually.
Yeah, that's a high end.
That's the most damage I've seen Magic Missile do, I think, in my 5e career.
Aside
That
from
is
that.
pretty
Actually-
decent.
yeah.
Pummeling the creature with the blast of darts. You do see there are small scrapes and wounds that seem to cover him as he is immediately peppered with them. Does seem to be looking reasonably damaged from that attack.
Nice work.
And
I don't know.
Last
Okay, we need to stop that. Whatever that is, just stop that.
You shut your mouth.
That's Vrex color. So
You shut your mouth.
Are you sure?
Sorry, bro.
You know
Try
I
to
I
do it
didn't
well.
say how big the hallway is. I say I cast fireball.
not yet.
I took cooking utensils so
And
you can let me cook.
moving back behind the mirror, will that be all Vannon?
It's not very
That's it.
cook. Wood cook.
Okay. It is the Balhanoth's turn. The Balhanoth is going to immediately strike down and command his warriors to attack Dune.
Okay.
So they will immediately swarm in towards you.
You're raging right now too, right? That's part of your
Yes.
shame. Okay.
Mhm.
Praise the Lord.
And
Do-do-do.
not just that.
Praise
Bro,
Belhamet.
he has everything up. Like he has his shit,
Yeah.
which does not allow him advantage. He has the displacer cloak, which gives them disadvantage, and he also is raging.
13,
Misses.
Unfortunately, I haven't been
Misses.
able to give him temp HP yet.
Still have temp
22.
HP from the
I will
breakfast.
use my reaction to block my tail.
All right.
Let's see if next one. Where did it go?
Did too.
Hold on,
Mark,
that's a
for
D.
breakfast.
Okay, here we
Got
go.
some temp HP from the breakfast.
3. So 23.
23.
Yep.
All right.
Blocks it.
AC is now 23. Blocks it.
For that one hit, though, not just for the
see.
one hit.
Yeah. Let's see. Second one is going to attack nat ones. Rolling a D100.
Into his foot.
38.
Cuts off his own toe.
Let's
He
see.
gets
38.
astral plane.
He just floats away.
38. Melee attack. Interesting. Okay. Bites. Misses.
Misses.
Okay. Carrying on. No continued effects. Another
What?
nat one.
Did he just try to bite himself or bite Dune?
He tried to bite Dune, but almost
Okay.
attack one of his friends.
This
91.
Oh no!
that's getting up there.
That's
I mean, that's gonna be like
At
a,
least it's not a 90. 90 is the
that's a miss into a hit,
That is
right?
an awaken. That is indeed an awakening. So, this crew member that once that you know full well is technically the spawn of vampire evolves into a full vampire.
Oh, Lord.
Little Bite evolved into
Big
You know,
fight.
we had this
King
in the
Vamp.
bag. Now I question if we even
Yes.
have this in the bag.
I know what my next turn is.
I want to do something.
So
real stupid.
apparently the cat wills there to be a vampire in this fight.
I guess
Person
fair
has-
enough.
So, yeah, that crew member is now a vampire.
All right, fair enough. Okay,
Excellent.
sure, why not? I
Still-
guess.
Is he still visibly tethered to the main guy?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, that must suck. being vampire
Actually,
to be
that's a
tethered.
good
Oof.
question.
No, don't.
Pack,
He is.
pack him
He
up.
is. 100%.
Okay. I will put this to the roll. I will put this to the roll, and because of the fact that you suggested it, Professor, you're the one
Okay.
that's going to do the roll. So
Right.
high or low?
If I'm rolling, someone else is gonna call high or low.
No, it's you. You're rolling.
Yeah, you're rolling.
Oh no!
People are rolling good tonight, so I'll go high.
Okay, I am going to give. Okay, if it is a 61 or higher, No, if it is a 40 or lower, the chain is broken and it is now an independent vampire.
Okay. He's a vampire, independent.
Independent vampire is no longer bound by the chains of the Balhanoth.
God damn it.
Balhanoth looks very confused.
The Balhanoth looks very confused, but also impressed at the fact that one of its current crew members just ranked itself up.
Sheer force of will.
Just promoted itself, and it's just like, oh shit, cool, okay.
Self
And
battlefield.
it,
Oh, wait a second, you're not in my command anymore. Fuck. So
I love that so much,
that's
that's awesome.
happening. Let's see. The other ones will attack.
Mm-hmm.
16 will miss. 13 will miss.
This is
The Balhanoth himself is going to
It's too awestruck to do anything.
bite towards you.
okay. Misses.
13 sadly misses. 2 tentacle attacks. Misses with a 9. 23.
That one will hit.
If it meets.
That
Oh
one
no,
will
it's
hit.
right. It's only for the one.
Yeah, for the one.
Yeah,
5 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are now grappled.
So what's 5? That's 3, right?
Do you round down or up, Rob?
I round. You took 2.
Okay.
Until this grapple ends, you're restrained.
Okay.
So you are restrained within the group of vampire and vampire spawn.
Is that just
as well as
movement
the
0?
Balhanoth.
Is that what it's
Yeah.
0?
Yes.
Okay. Can still attack.
I think you can attack with disadvantage.
Restrained
They
becomes
might
0.
have-
Attack rolls against creature have advantage. Creatures' attack rolls have disadvantage, and creatures
Oh, yeah.
disadvantage on dex saves.
Gotcha.
Okay,
So
that's not
Dune,
good.
you are restrained and stuck between a little bit of a swarm here.
Okay.
Now
I have
we're-
to use an action to break out, right?
You'll go against so you'll need to do an action to escape.
Gotcha.
We're all
Thank you.
frightened to attack that guy now.
That
don't wanna-
is the Balhanoth's turn.
That displacement cloak though.
They
didn't
are
work.
gone.
Placement plug is so nice.
Yeah, it was.
Before your turn, Daisy,
Yes.
you'll see Jazir is going to. That's a good question. Who does he go for?
He's got his eye on those chain bears. You can see it.
They are the closest ones. Yeah, he's gonna go for this one here.
Mix him up.
And immediately swings the blade down. Need to go ahead and. That's right. I remember this now. Here we go. Okay, so he is going to move here. Actually, no. Yes, he's going to move here, bring the blade along, and you'll see him bring it to there, slamming down on top of these 3.
Oh no.
Actually, no, just the 2 at this moment in time.
Just
So
the
this guy
2 of
here.
them.
Let's see. We'll hit both of them. Dealing 13 points of slashing damage onto them both. And are they affected by poison? Yes, they are. So they take an additional 2d8 poison damage. So 8 points of damage total. And that will be his turn. Daisy, it is your turn. Vrek on deck.
Okay. just quick glance at Jazir. Does he seem? Is there like a part of him that's still there,
You
or
do
is
not
there
know.
no response?
There is no response so far to your interaction.
Alright, seeing that there's now a vampire in play changes everything. So range of this. Alright. Oh, that's the wrong tool. So
It's a surprise tool we'll use later.
nah. Yeah, right there where I'm pointing, I'm gonna cast daylight. So
Okay.
sunlight appears and lights up this entire battlefield.
Okay. Gotcha. Gonna go ahead and put a little area here. How big?
It's a 60-60. So 60
60?
bright, 60 dim.
Okay. Gotcha. So I'll go ahead and have that linger for a moment. Like that.
60 feet.
Gotcha.
It's one left. Right there. Yeah.
All right. Bright light blasting into the space. As you do see, the bright light immediately causes the large figure to recoil back and cause him to turn in your direction.
I'll yell out again in Primordial. Jazir, it's not only the third princess that is at risk, but the second. If you are in there, snap the fuck out of it. And I will. Okay, so I need to move out of this.
Yeah, you need to
massive
move.
clusterfuck. Yeah, because right now I am public enemy number 1.
I think worse than that.
So that's 10. I don't want to be at the edge.
Yeah.
So, well, these things have range or not? I don't even remember. God, this is such a bad position to be at.
Don't make me bring out the 5-minute clock. I will.
Nah, I shall move and hide behind this rock.
Okay.
It was,
Hiding
I just
there.
needed to measure it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Shiro, I am getting out of the group because I am not gonna have them get smashed because of me.
Okay.
That's
Vrek,
my
it
action.
is your turn.
Uh,
Jonathan on deck.
did it look like Daisy's words had any effect on the Goliath, on the colossal Dark Souls boss?
You roll me an insight check, please.
Oh, I'm
I'm
great at
getting
these.
tremendous. What's his name? I can't remember his name. Artorias vibes from this guy.
I'm gonna leave it. Yeah, I'll leave it.
Leave it?
Yeah.
Okay. No reaction. Doesn't seem to be. Just looks over. Seems to be relatively aggressive at this moment in time. If
Let me put it
is
this way:
Jazir,
did it
really
catch
not
his
in
ear
charge.
at all? Like, did he kind of give Daisy any notice, or did he pay Daisy no mind?
He looked over as if he had paid attention.
Okay, so there was some recognition.
Acknowledgement.
Okay. Do I still have the ointment of Quicksilver or whatever?
You look down. You do not have any left. You use the entirety to get everyone here.
All right. Next question: how high up is the mastermind? The master, whatever, grandmaster.
You do not see him.
Oh, okay. My bad.
You look over to where Daisy had pointed to where supposedly the thing is, and you do not see anything.
Okay.
Actually, I will
Yep.
allow you to roll a perception check to see if you can see it. Sure.
Yeah, right.
And this will cost you your bonus action.
Oh, then I'm not doing it. Screw that. I need my bonus
Okay.
action. I'm an artificer. I need my bonus action.
Okay.
Next question is, how big was the blast radius on the 1 pound grenade mines? It was 30 feet.
That was a collective. You know that you would believe that they would be around about 15, maybe 20.
Okay. Final question. We said that if I used one of my spells to set something that is fire, like a grenade, that could use my elemental adept fire feat to bypass resistances.
How are you lighting it exactly?
Oh, I made it a pressure trigger. So whenever it makes contact, it ignites.
Due to there being no magical essence with these particular grenades, I'm gonna say no.
Okay. All right. Now here's the real final question, $1 million question.
Oh boy. Okay.
So here's my plan. I'm going to move out a little bit and use catapult to throw my bag of ball bearings right here, which is kind of
Okay.
at the feet of the giant. But inside the bag is my 3 pound cannon rock mine. And that's a total of 5 pounds, which is the maximum weight limit for catapult. So it has a pressure trigger. So in essence, I'm detonating a 1,000 ball bearing claymore mine. That's 3 pounds of cannon rock.
Okay.
Are you going to allow me to do that? Because that, in theory, might break the encounter, and I don't want to do that.
Sure.
Okay.
This is gonna get crazy.
Yep.
So you are placing it
I,
aside,
I gotta do
rushing
my
over to the location,
not
getting the
just
calculations on
yeah. I
point.
gotta calculate real quick. So you said 20, so it's about 60 feet. That should do that. Putting it there, and I need to be. Dune needs to go there. So we are going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I think 30 feet for Dune. Perfect. So I'm within 60 feet of my thing. Bonus action, activate Guardian's Turret, giving temporary hit points to Dune. Where are they? There's so many things. So many things. Come on, Protectron. I'm still 1d8, I think.
He already does have temp HP. A pretty decent amount too, doesn't he? Hectic?
No, the food comes from max HP.
Yeah,
not
food's
temp.
max HP.
Oh, it's max.
Yeah, so this
Okay.
will add on top. Where is it? Sorry, I gotta find it. Bonus action. There it is. Okay. Bonus action. Dune gets 12 points of temporary hit points, and then catapulting my bag of ball bearings 70 feet over there,
Yep.
which also has the 3 pound cannon rock grenade in it, which
Okay.
I will cast. The goal is to because he swung his blade that way, right? So I'm hoping that there's some body part of his in that square I can hit.
He swung it down, directly down into the pair of people behind it. Okay.
So I'm hoping to hit him directly, like an arm or something. If not, I'll hit his chest. You know what? Screw it.
Go ahead and make me a dexterity. Make me a dexterity attack, please. Basically, a spell attack using dexterity is the modifier, essentially.
So just D20 plus dex
Just
plus
dex
proficiency.
plus proficiency. Yeah.
Okay, so
dex
add
check
4 to
plus
this.
proficiency. Yep.
21.
21. Perfect. You are able to perfectly fling the bag into the space between the large figure's feet, landing in the presumed location right where you wanted it to be around here.
I was hoping to impact him with it, so he gets
Oh,
the
impact
so he gets
him.
the catapult damage on top
Okay.
of the grenade damage, on top of the ball bearing damage.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Go ahead and let's see if it would hit a creature.
Sorry about this, guys.
Creature must make a dexterity saving throw.
I mean,
Okay.
it could win our battle right there, so I'm fine with it.
DC
So okay.
should be 19.
Yes.
Why is it saying 18? Hold on.
19. Okay.
I need to double check the math.
Fails.
Yeah. Catapult. I'm doing it at level 1 because I didn't say level 2.
All right.
So catapult damage. 11 bludgeoning.
11 bludgeoning. All right. And as it's impacted, a sudden blast of fire immediately erupts, and shrapnel immediately rips out into the air. Let's see.
There goes the
Right from
3-pound cannon
here.
rock. Mine. I still got 5 pounds.
So those two guys, Daisy, if you want to put your daylight back up, you're free to
I
do
got it.
so. See, these two guys are going to make dexterity saves as well. I will say that both of those fail. Vrek, 5 pounds of cannon rock.
3
3 pounds?
Yeah, I have
Okay.
5 pounds left.
3
Sorry.
pounds. Go ahead and roll me 9d6, please. So, Jazir and the chain guard will be taking 27 points of fire damage as well.
Aren't they immune to fire?
Now, hold on. Because does that have any effect because I cast catapult with my arcane firearm? Because I
Technically,
can
yes.
add fire damage. I can add another D8 of fire damage. I never get to use any of my stuff, so sorry, 1 second. Class features. And there's so much stuff. Arcane firearm, I can add a D8. Do I reroll any of them? No, just a D8. So add a D8 to that is nice. Wonderful.
Okay.
And I can't use my feet, right? My elemental adept to treat 1s as 2s.
With the arcane, I'll allow it.
Okay, so with the firearm, okay, so make that a 2.
Yeah.
So
So
29.
29?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. You'll see that the chain guard are not affected by the flames. However, Jazir does seem to have taken a brunt of it, and you will see him slowly turning, also facing you with those dark red eyes.
Now you goofed.
And the 1,000 ball bearings that exploded with it?
Okay. That's the second part.
Yeah.
Along with that, as the sudden blast ricochets and suddenly spreads the remaining ball bearings out, I will say that's probably a bit more of a decent spread. I will say that those guys will probably need to make a dexterity save, as I will have Jazir roll with disadvantage. Again, DC 18. He will fail, as the chain guard will roll normally. Fail, fail, fail. Okay. With the ball bearings, go ahead and roll me
They can just
8d4.
They can just each do 1 point of damage. I'll be fine with that. 1,000
Roll
times.
me 8d4, please.
You tried.
I tried. Okay, that was pretty good D4.
Another one. Wow.
25 points of damage as they are sprayed out impacting against the entirety of the group. Yeah, some of them got hurt pretty badly. However, Jazir seems pretty fucking pissed at you right now.
I just did 60 plus points of damage to him. I don't blame him. Hold on. I can't. Catapult. No, okay, so and he has temporary, I think. Yeah, I'm not gonna push it. That will do it.
Okay.
Sorry that took so long, guys.
At the end of your turn, he is going to move, taking the attack of opportunity. 17 will miss.
Oh no! Oh no!
As he will move here and swing his blade in a cone-like fashion out towards both Rek and Daisy.
Oh,
Let's see.
he can only get one.
One or the
No,
other.
it
You
is,
screw
One
up.
or
it is
the
a larger
other.
cone. It is the larger cone. Don't worry, I got you both.
Oh, he has angles in this bitch.
He can get angles on this bitch. He will get both of you.
Are we sure about that? That's quite the angle. I don't see it touching.
Don't try me. I will do it. He will go to there.
The angles on the GM layer. It's okay.
Yeah.
I will get an angle eventually. Don't try me. I want to try and get as much done as possible right
Yeah, I
now.
know. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, see? I got the angle.
17.333 repeating, of course. Oh, of course.
Of course. yeah.
It was a larger anyways.
Yeah.
So okay. It is going to be a 19 against the both of you.
Okay, so
Oh
that.
darn, that freaking hits.
Okay, hold on.
Both of you take
Daisy
11
plus 2 AC.
Still hits.
Never. Okay.
Both of you take 11 points of slashing damage.
So
Magical.
I'm debating
slashing
if it's
damage.
worth it to push him back or not.
And
Okay, I'm going to take out a thin piece of metal from my back that I slam into the ground, and it before the sword comes down, it puts up a giant dome of metal around me as I pull out my mobile ballistics barrier, aka shield.
okay.
That's pretty good.
So my armor is
You are
effectively
shielded.
24 for the round.
Okay. So Daisy, you will also take an additional
Mm-hmm.
9 points of fire damage.
You know, the moment I take off the freaking cinder clasp.
That's your own fault. Like, Rob's made it very clear the entire campaign is fire based. Like
I know.
Like, that's your own
we're
fault.
We're dealing with undead. You know, I can risk it.
Nah, bro. Nah.
And
Yeah, bro.
that
And
is the end of his turn. Jonathan, it
And-
is your turn. Again, he says no words. However, you do hear the slight sound of screaming voices echoing out from the blade as he swings it.
I'll look to Daisy real quick. Am I helping you or taking care of those things up north?
Take care of them. They are very strong, so be careful.
Yeah, no, watch out.
You're saying the north one?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, okay.
there's more of them than there is a Jazir.
Alright. So at that, 10. I'll do 15 feet here, and short bow, dude man over there.
Right?
Come on, you can do it. There you go. Good job. Okay.
22 hits.
7 piercing.
7 points. 7 points of piercing.
Mhm.
Impacts. Seems to take the hit. And you'll notice, especially as he moves forwards after taking the hit, as if it was basically nothing, these guys are not fully alive, as they are stepping forwards, masked helmets covering most of the face. However, there is a distinctful hint of undeath that seems to reek from these individuals.
Gotcha. All right. End of round. I will shoot again.
All right. 19 also hits. Same guy.
Mhm.
Impacts against the front. Continues to march his way forwards as you see him bring the blade up as the front of the blade blazes with flame.
And how tall is this rock?
Maybe around about 5 foot tall. Could probably climb
Okay.
on top of.
All right. All right, Daisy, I'll trust you. And last 10, actually, a little more, but I will go there and end my turn.
Okay. At the end of your turn, Jonathan, Jazir is going to slam his blade down into Vrek
Yeah, not happy with that.
and impacting the ground, causing it to quake underneath him. Let's see. It's going to be a 20 to hit.
Miss.
Excellent. As at the end of that turn, you can hear screams rippling out from the blade, and Daisy, at the edge of your hearing, you can hear a voice echoing out in primordial.
Release me. Release me from my bones.
Top of the round. Dune, it is your
Yeah.
turn.
I wanted to ask, since I'm covered in this aura of boiling blood and fire, does it hurting this guy trying to wrap its tentacles around me?
Does not seem to at this moment in time. As the
Good.
black ichor seems to be preventing the fire to fully eclipse and fully consume him. He seems to be, at this moment in time, preventing the flames from fully affecting him.
Okay. Well, I don't like being held down, so I'm gonna break out. I'm gonna attempt to break out of his grasp.
Go for it.
So,
It will be your action.
Yep. So it's athletics, right?
Yes, sir. Easily enough, snapping
good.
yourself out from the tentacles, you're able to get out of the restraints.
All right. Unfortunately, so that's my action. Is there anything else I can? Nope. That's that's it. That's all I can do. I just break out. That's all I can really do. So yeah,
Okay.
unfortunately.
All right. At the end of your turn, the Balhanoth is going to use a legendary action
Of course he is.
Wait, what? They have those?
to
Yep.
teleport
Of course they
away
have those.
Oh, no, for my-
Wait, is it a spell? Is it a spell?
and brings Dune over here.
Is that oh wait, was it a spell though?
It is not a spell, no.
Okay.
Wait, I put this one too far down.
To be exact, he can innately teleport.
That's
Bro.
It's still
so
magic.
dumb. It's so cool.
It is a magical effect, but it is
Yeah.
not a spell.
That's crazy.
And it is going to bamf you over directly in the center of the chain guard, and will look around.
Disperse of him. We like these odds.
As it is their turn. And they will indeed get into positions to strike you down.
Alright.
Let's see. First one is going to try and knock you prone.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a 19.
That will miss.
Excellent. Seeing that is just going to make a 2 attacks. 16
Miss.
and 15.
Miss.
Second one is going to do the same. Shield bash. Try and knock you prone. 23.
I will attempt to try and block my tail again.
Yep.
Okay.
That is a reaction attack.
D8. 6. So that'll be 26 for
Nice.
the pocket.
Nice.
So your AC is 26 right now?
Just for the hit.
Yep.
It's only for the
Okay,
hit.
for just that hit.
Here,
Okay.
I'll just display so you can see the bottom there.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So 2 more attacks of longswords. That one. So let's roll a D100
This
here.
is the most nat ones I've seen you roll on attack.
23.
Forever.
Ooh.
Now he cuts off his big toe.
Now he's the second 9 toes.
Okay. This is an interesting one. Hold on. This is going to be funny. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. I need to see if this actually happens.
Oh no.
What's happening?
I'm going to say low. This happens.
That's low.
Yes!
That's pretty low.
Tell me what
Okay,
happens. I want to hear
so-
it.
You see, as Dune, you swing around and send his blade up with your tail, sending him off kilter. The blade swings around and smashes into the mirror behind him.
Oh no.
As the blade impacts, you'll see the mirror itself suddenly shatter into place, and you'll see him suddenly being sucked in and implodes with the mirror itself.
Oh my god.
Okay. All right. We'll take that.
However, you'll see that mirror is completely gone. Just the standing remains stand there, essentially.
What Rex said, we probably
Oh,
want one
my
of the
God.
mirrors somewhat intact for this, I think.
The one that's
Yeah,
fully
the
intact is the
northern-
one north of me.
Yeah, with the 2 train guards is our ticket.
I don't know why
Northwest
this guy is-
Robbie,
or northeast. Sorry.
do the train guards by the mirror look like, are they moving out to attack someone, or are they like standing guard?
They look like they are moving in
Okay.
to attack someone on the side, which seemed to
Okay.
be in Jonathan's direction. Yeah. Speaking of which, they are going to charge over. This guy here will dash to get to you, but one will get to you, Jonathan. Let's see. 2 more on you, Dune. Shield
Yes, that
bash.
Misses.
11, 10,
Misses.
12, and final 17,
Misses.
20.
Beats it beats.
16 points of slashing reduced to 8, and 9
Yep.
points of fire.
I ignore the fire, so
You ignore the fire.
Yep.
And final attack 10.
misses.
Actually, it would be 12 because you hit.
Yeah, he
That's
hit
true.
me in that. My display
No,
spot,
but
so
remember,
miss.
he doesn't get advantage from anything.
Does not get advantage.
Oh, shoot,
Because he
advantage.
shifted.
Yeah. Yep.
Jonathan,
I love my character.
you see coming around the corner, familiar to the guards that you had seen upstairs in the Avon town center, coming around, brings up their shield and tries to smack into you, trying to catch you off guard. Does a 10 hit? Probably not.
Miss.
Swings with their blade is going to be a 12 and a nat 1.
There's the most I've ever seen you roll on attack rolls in my life.
This is the frickin' Fort Ridian situation all over again.
You
Oh,
bet your
God.
ass it is.
Oh my god. That's
Okay, there we go.
Low for-
60. No ill effects. That is their turn. Harry Harrington is going to really not like the fact that he's now in proximity of getting in dangerous range, so is immediately going to say, fuck that shit, I'm out. Let's see. is going to look over and see that Jonathan's currently dealing with some trouble himself. So we'll go ahead and bring out Olive Branch and fire on the one towards his north. Let's see. He's not gonna sharpshooter the first one. However, will use a point to gain advantage on his attack. 26 is going to hit for 14 points of piercing damage. Large sound ricocheting out into the air as the rifle blasts out. As Jonathan, you see a bullet impact against the front of the creature's chest as black ichor comes out of the wound. Harry pulls back the bolt, goes for a second, will sharpshooter this time. Will not use a point since he used it. The second 25 is going to hit for 25 points of piercing damage.
Damn.
As the chain guard once again takes the impact, more black ichor pours out of the front as Harry will call out, Jonathan, they take a lot of damage. Just try and hold them there.
All right.
And he's going to look around, eyes the blade at his side for a moment, and will consider it for a later time. Professor, it is your turn.
Okay, from what I remember, the chain guards, they don't react well to sunlight, correct? Like there's some effect that happened when we were fighting them before.
You know that they don't gain their healing properties.
Okay, and how far? I don't know if we ever covered this. Is it? Can I throw the drift globe up to 60 feet?
Daylight's already active, by the way.
Daylight is already active.
Oh,
That's
you
the
actually. Sorry, I
That
missed
big
that.
blue
Okay.
circle.
Yeah,
Oh,
big
yeah.
blue
okay.
circle is daylight.
I was like, I was actually thinking that when I was measuring out where I wanted to drop the drift globe, I was like, hey, there's another 60-foot circle up there. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Hey guys, I think we need more daylight. As daylight is blasting in the center.
I
of
mean,
the
there is,
space.
like 40 feet on the other side that, isn't touched. I don't...
We
All
should
right,
create a
so
daylight Venn diagram.
I really don't want to piss this thing off anymore. I mean, we're gonna have to deal with this thing, but
I have plans.
and okay, who? This is the one Harry shot, and the one Jonathan's been working on. This one right here.
Yes.
Okay, let's. Yeah. Am I? I had a 31 stealth roll last time. Am I reasonably hidden from this guy right here?
I would believe so, yes.
Okay, yeah. I'll send a.
That guy is the most perceptive one of his company. He sees you from a mile off.
Oh yeah. Let's do a magic missile, but I'm gonna overcharge this one.
Okay.
Reminder: everyone still has bless.
Oh, and yeah, definitely overcharging it.
Yep.
It should be 27, but then -5, 22. I use this 22 hit.
hits.
Okay.
Oh yeah, 22 hits.
Okay, so we are going to give him the old. Damn, that is one of my worst magic missile rolls ever. 18 points of magical piercing damage. And we discussed it before. It is an actual, like a full action for me to poison a bolt or a blade. It's like an actual action.
Yes, it is an action to apply that onto
Okay,
it,
so,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, so 18 magical piercing.
Jonathan, you see directly behind you, or more specifically, hear directly behind you, a sudden whistling through the air as you quickly move your head aside. Directly over your shoulder, you see just a bolt of light impact against the chest of the chain guard in front of you. As you see the professor give a slight nod to you, retrieving the blade back between his fingers and ducking behind the throne.
Nice reaction time. Yeah, I'm a little close to this guy. I think I'm gonna follow in Carrie's footsteps. Yeah, we're gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20. Hello. And stop right here. And again, huddle. This mirror isn't like completely see-through, just from the crack in the middle?
Uh, no, you don't see. You see a
Okay.
slight crack down the center, but not enough for you to fully see through it.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna bonus action meld into shadow back here and try to slink back into nothing,
Okay.
which I do a pretty good job of. 32. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. Before your turn, Vannon, the Balhanoth is going to use its legendary action to once again teleport back to its crew. And Daisy, in the corner of your eye,
Yeah.
the figure floating above begins to shift,
Shift how?
as if it was previously idle and dormant, now seems to be slowly awakening.
Is it physically like here?
Does seem so, as the long featured, almost like arms seem to hang down along the sides of the singular eyeball like figure like esque construct that seems to float down, a slight beam of bluish energy coming through the transparent like aura, until eventually it does seem to become a bit more evident, a bit more material. As for some of you, you will see a slight familiarity, a slight familiar construct
I'll
begin to
yell out,
descend.
"The Grandmaster's awake!"
Is that good?
I have no idea what that means.
Bad.
Is a new combatant.
You see, for some of you, this would be more specifically Jonathan, Vannon, and Daisy. You would see what seems to be a large construct with a singular glowing bluish, pale blue eye like orb resting at the front of it, gray and uh, almost whitish pale clay like skin that seems to cover a three appendage like form. One that seems relatively thicker in the center, almost creating a set of attached limbs like legs that seem to be sealed together, and two gangly long arms with claws that seem to give off a slight, almost pulsating like aura or energy that seems to be almost reverberating and pulsing from inside of it itself. It is quite clearly a creature of pure arcane energy. And it is now currently activated.
That sounds bad.
Does it look
Oh.
like it has? I'm sorry if you described this part, but does it look like it has any metal?
Does not seem to be made out of metal. It seems to be made out of like a clay-like stone.
Okay.
Rob just isn't that was 28 points. It's 28 points of magical piercing, not 18.
Yes.
I overcharged it. I didn't have the 10 to it.
Gotcha.
Every bit's gonna help.
Indeed.
Rolls like me, for real, for
As
real.
it is descending currently 100 feet in the air.
You
It
rolling
is
so
going to float down to 80 feet. And that will be its turn. Vannon, it is your turn.
potential ally, right, Daisy? Your friend?
Yeah.
Haha,
That
you're funny.
the one that we found, is it doing anything?
It is descending down, and for those that have been to Fort Ridian before,
It was a great time.
during the encounter with not only Silas but the construct of the Grand Master, this looks exactly like the construct that you had fought before. However, it seems this one is better, more toned, more polished. as if it is a completed construction.
Is the wand that we use to get into here, is it doing anything?
You look down to where the wand is, and it is no longer in your hand.
Oh, that was an idea. Do I see it anywhere around?
You look around, you do not see it, no.
Does that suck? Okay, well, I got one option out of the way. Alright, guess I gotta do what I gotta do.
Yep.
Hold on. Circle.
I was gonna say you got some
Fireball.
good fireball opportunities here.
No, none of his team is there. He has to wait.
You know, that's true.
Yeah, it's,
You see, if I was there, it'd be perfect.
yeah, exactly. But the thing had to teleport you away, so he's like, "Oh man."
Because he's scared. That's
Yeah.
why.
So I'll drop a fireball right dead sit over there.
Okay. Dropping a fireball, gotcha.
They, at least the vampires and maybe the tentacle guy, have disadvantage, right? Because they're in daylight. deck saves?
Crew members do, yes.
Not the tentacle guy though.
Not the tentacle guy, no.
Okay.
Not
I
the
could have
vampire?
sworn. I could have sworn
They don't
Sunlight
like
did something
water.
too, but no. They hate water.
I
That's for
hate
sure.
You
water.
do not, you don't like water.
Oh, there's a water ball.
Technically, you can make that happen.
You can make
You're
that
a
happen,
sorcerer.
yeah.
Yeah.
The cantrip
I had
and
a
the sword.
water spell, but I didn't take it because I wasn't expecting to fight a freaking water vampire.
Big guy
Anti-water vampire.
does not
Nice.
succeed. Let's see. Fail.
If you roll a 0 for your
Succeed.
deck save, you just collapse.
Fail.
That should be a thing.
Actually, hold on. The other guy's not a crew member anymore. Hold on. No, he's
Get the
something
vamp.
else.
Get the vamp stats.
Yeah,
He's a vamp.
What's your DC for these right now? Is it 16,
18.
17? 18?
Yeah, we're both
Oh.
18.
Oh, okay.
See, I think mine's a 19 though. I don't think it's taking into
We're gonna
account
pull on those
my.
stat block out just to get this.
I think it's not taking into account my all-purpose tool.
Vamp. Let's see. 18. Yes, he does make it.
Disadvantage,
Okay,
right? Because
so.
of the sunlight? He does.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so he
So
failed.
disadvantage. So he does fail.
Nice.
Okay.
I have ascended.
so-
Ah!
I have ascended. So taking 24 points of damage.
Oh,
This is why D&D is the best game in the world.
My buns. It
Yo.
So I've never get anything done.
And does upcasting fireball increase the radius or just the damage?
No, just the damage.
Just the damage.
Just the damage.
Yeah.
Taking the damage. Ooh. How bad is this guy? Ooh, actually.
Weak to fire? Maybe?
Balhanoth. Looking bloodied.
Okay.
He's mine, I swear to God.
Gotta get over there and get him because this guy's
Hey,
gotta die.
dude, looks like you're on the wrong side of the island.
Shut up, Rick.
There's far too many enemies on the field capable of legendary actions right now.
Question is, what
Let's see. Blast echoes out. They all still seem to be standing. However, the Balhanoth does seem to be relatively weakened.
now? Alright, so then. Okay, that. And we'll move to 4, 5, 6, here. And that's it.
Okay. At the end of your turn, the construct is going to use its legendary action to make its way over to here. Still 80 feet in the air.
Oh, no.
The Balhanoth, on his turn, is going to grasp a ruby-like gem around his neck and crush it as a fiery portal will open up next to him, and he will step through it.
Damn you, not again. Slippery, but his
As the crew members all
Okay.
disappear, but
Except
the
for
vampire
one.
does not.
God.
Vampire just looks around for a moment, just like, shit.
Free,
Okay.
join us and fight for your freedom.
Is currently just burning in the sunlight.
And the fireball remnants. Yeah.
And the fireball. As you're saying, join us, as it is currently burning from the creations of your own making.
Totally
I'm gonna
having
go
a
ahead
good
and
time.
have its own initiative at this point. Oh god.
Oh my
There
god.
it is. Okay. So it is at the bottom of the initiative, of course. The relative initiative. Okay.
He's
From
got to
second
take a
place.
moment
And
to understand what he has become.
Yeah, he does.
and that is where
Ruby necklace.
Balanoff disappears. It is going to be Jazir before you, Daisy.
Mm-hmm.
As it is going to
Imagine he's mortal
step
enemy.
back.
Master, no?
Do you take an attack of opportunity, Vrek?
Oh goodness. Did I take a reaction? Hold on. Yes, I did take a reaction. My AC I shielded, so no.
Okay. It is going to swing down towards you.
Mhm.
17 to hit.
Nope. Still 24.
Blade impacts down. You quickly move to the side as the corrupted form of Jazir seems to swing down the blade in anger and rage. It is your turn, Daisy.
So he's taking that swing while I am starting to do things, right? So I
Yes.
see the wait. So when I heard the voice that said like free me or whatever, where did it come from? From the
From
body or the
within.
blade?
From within the armor. The voice itself seems to be coming from within the helmet.
From specifically the helmet.
Specifically the armor, but the voice itself seems to be coming from the
Right, so
helmet.
it
as
echoes
if
up from
it's from
inside,
the
right?
head. Yeah.
And the
With the
blade,
staff.
it's only like a cacophony of different voices, right?
A cacophony of different voices. However, you can see the blade itself seems to be moving and shifting, as if you can see multiple faces and figures shifting and creating the blade itself.
Right, hear me out. As he hits Vrek's shield with his blade, I want to use a 4th level guiding bolt and try to blow up the sword with radiant energy. See if anything happens.
You're trying to hold the blade?
I'm trying to destroy the blade using radiant energy.
How?
I'm gonna attack it with a guiding bolt
Okay.
at 4th level.
Go ahead and make an attack.
I still have
Okay.
less. So 20.
20. Okay. Go ahead and roll damage.
21 points of radiant damage.
All right. As you swing your hand out and shoot it towards the blade, you can see him turn around as if trying to deflect the beam away from him. You'll see the beam itself shatter through the blade and impact into him, causing him to roar out, as you'll see a sudden spreading of shadow immediately rippling out as if multiple tendrils of a black ichor pours out from either side, displaying a figure within the armor itself. Bluish-like skin, almost grayish-like hair covering a robed-like figure currently dangling in the armor itself, looks over towards you.
Release me from my bonds.
Before the tendrils of the black armor immediately eclipse and consume him once again.
Since it hit him, he now has advantage against himself as he glows in radiant energy.
You do see that the radiant-like energy does seem to have massively affected whatever is surrounding Jazir.
Sucks that I'm the only radiant user here. Shit.
I got rid of my radiant for the day.
Yeah.
Switched it to
Unfortunate.
something else.
All right. For now, I'll move behind this, so I have cover behind me and in front of me.
As you look up and see the construct slowly
He can fly,
floating
bro.
and
The
making its way
Overlord.
over towards you.
I just
Yeah,
see
he
that.
can
I think it's
fly.
Zerg Overlord.
Kinda, yeah. Where he's like hunched down, yeah.
Okay.
I see an overseer though, like the angles on his
Mhm.
I will
shoulders.
say
Yeah, he does.
that Jazir is inside the middle of this armor. I want someone to try and grab him when I blast him next time, in the next 6 seconds.
Hit him with the salve.
It's gone.
I know.
That's my turn. That's action and movement and all that stuff.
At the end of your turn, Daisy, the construct is going to look down and use one of its legendary actions to
So
send the
embarrassed.
beam towards Vannon.
I left all my legendary actions at home.
Darn.
Beam of friendship.
Let's see. Boop.
Beam of happiness.
To transmit his email of surrender.
Ha ha ha. Let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Number 4. Vannon, I need you to make me a strength saving throw, please.
Oh, this will end well.
Yep.
Remember, you are blessed by yourself.
I don't know if that'll help.
Damn.
Yeah, even with a 4, that's a rough one.
God damn.
You'll
What about your
see
portrait?
as the
Damn.
you'll see as a pinkish like ray impacts against Vannon as he is suddenly lifted up off of his feet and flung off of the platform.
Oh my god, Vannon. Oh. Is there any kind of reaction? I don't think I.
You know what I said today? I said, I don't need Featherfall. We're going to be in the desert.
Vannon,
Yeah.
as the beam drops, so do you.
How far up is it?
And that is where we'll end the session today.
Oh no, it's not. Shut
You
up.
son
We're
of
not
a gun.
ending on that.
It's
No,
9 o'clock, baby.
not.
It's time. It is time.
There's 5 more minutes, Mom.
Can't do this. You can't do this.
Yeah, baby, let's
Get away
go.
with
Oh,
this.
it's there. I'm sorry, Vannon.
We're in it. We're in it.
No, Van will
Hold
be
down.
fine.
Where am I going? There's nothing there.
Yeah, he's in the Astral Sea. He'll be fine.
Yeah, it sounds with the large krakens everywhere.
Of course he ran away. I'm so mad.
All right, I will be
He's
right back.
assigned to the Zentarum. He's not gonna